What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with some smooth jazz, some late night Warhammer 40,000s, because it is the T5S2 Pod 26 finals. Nurgle Matt's in chat, spouting propaganda about Chaos Space Marines. Disgusting. Disgusting. We are watching the cutting edge of the metagame develop right now. Chaos Space Marines versus Aeldari, the two number 1 and number 2 factions in the game currently. Aeldari currently at number 1. Chaos Space Marines nipping at their heels, however. And yeah, two very good players. So we have Chorus over here on the red, aka Kyrius, over from the server. We watched him. I actually played against him in this very event. In the first round, he unfortunately soundly defeated my many Tyranid Warriors, which is very sad. But this is a great game. Super duper good game. He is going to be up against Jonathan, aka Matt Damon, a stream regular. These guys will start their clock if they're deployed.
Right, so I'll start the timer.
Oh, there we go. Jonathan's on top of it. Nice. Yeah, Jonathan, a stream regular, running Aeldari. So the Aeldari list is relatively straightforward. We are running a Incarn or a Wreath Guard today. We are running an Avatar of Cain, a little bit more of a flighty list, versus a relatively straightforward, a fairly standard variety of Chaos Space Marines. A lot of stuff in reserve for Chaos Space Marines, although, to be fair, a lot of it's in transport, to be fair. 2 Forge Fiends in reserve for the Chaos, as well as their Obliterators, plus a Nurgling unit. Chaos Space Marines, with a pretty cookie-cutter army. This one running 2 of all the good stuff. So we're at double Chaos Chosen with attached Chaos Lords, or excuse me, a little bit different, in fact. Attached Masters of Possession. The interesting thing about the Master of Possession is that it can deal damage to the unit whenever it attacks, both the shooting and fight phase. It has an extremely strong weapon. Actually, let's see if we can pull up its datasheet real quick here, because it's a super duper weird gun. It's a high damage precision weapon, so it is very good at scalping out characters if you need to. And it can deal damage to its own unit to buff its attacks, both in the shooting and in the fight phase. So it can do that every single time it attacks. Here he is.
I'm in East Coast Canada.
So he starts with, if he overcharges his weapon to get Hazardous, he starts with 2 shots. That's Strength 6, AP 3 for 3 damage. He can get +1 to hit and wound, so hitting on 2s and wounding most of the things, almost everything in the game on 5s or 6s, or 4s or 5s. You're also getting, either lethal or sustained, depending on what you choose for your Dark Pact when you shoot that gun. So the chances of you with +1 to hit and wound, especially against characters, getting 2 wounds through at AP 3 against any character in the game is extremely high. And if those characters don't have a baked-in Feel No Pain or something similar, they are going to basically just die. So that is incredibly terrifying. They also are no slouch in melee. They can use that ability in melee as well to buff their force weapon. So hitting on 2s with Strength 6, +1 to wound, and on all of the fixins that Chaos Space Marines can do normally. Those are an undivided chosen unit, so they have Profane Zeal access, so they can get full rerolls to hit and wound. Plus, they advance and charge, and advance and shoot. So they can advance, shoot 2 sustained 3 damage guns that wound on 4s, then charge, and the Master of Possession alone hits you with 4 more D3 damage, Strength 6 +1 to wound sustained attacks. It's pretty nuts. Potentially everything rerolling every one of those times. Good stuff. So 2 Masters of Possession to go in those chosen units. Those are in a single Chaos Rhino. 2 Forge Fiends, 1 Undivided, 1 Nurgle. 1 unit of Obliterators as Undivided. 2 units of Warp Talons as Slanesh for Advance and Charge to add some fast threat, some little problem solvers to the list. A unit of Blue Scribes and a unit of Nurglings. And that is the list. It's basically what we've been seeing out of Chaos Space Marines recently. The 2 Accursed Cultist units are going to be a huge problem, I think, for the Eldar. The downside of Eldar, and one of the reasons that Chaos Space Marines are so strong right now, is that Eldar have extremely good, I think I called it technical weaponry in a previous video, where they have sort of good target selection, and they have good profiles against a wide variety of enemies, but they don't have good volume. Their attacks are extremely limited, and what they're trying to do is use their fate dice and their battle focus rerolls or unparalleled foresight rerolls to maximize the efficiency of those attacks. But unfortunately, unless you are building a specific variety of Eldar, they don't have a ton of attacks. And the Accursed Cultists, you need approximately, if you want to kill everyone but the Demagogue, if you don't need to worry about the Demagogue, because once they're by themselves, it doesn't really matter. That's the leader in the unit. The Dark Commune, the leader attachment to the unit, adds a bunch of additional models into them. Here they are. So you're getting not only the Demagogue, who's the actual character, but you're also getting 4 additional models, or 3 additional models, a Mind Witch and 2 Blessed Blades. So the total wound count of the unit is pretty insane. The Demagogue's also granting them a 5+ invulnerable save, and the non-character models in the unit have a 6+ feel no pain as well. On top of that, you have multiple wound types or wound counts on your model, so you can try to assign saves in a way that's as least beneficial for your opponent as possible. So the end result is that in order to kill the majority of the unit and stop them from being able to... What is happening right now? Jonathan is not slipping the time down. Okay, there it goes. The sum total of damage that you have to be doing to that unit is about 36 wounds. So like 36 individual converted wound rolls. And then those have to convert through the saves and feel no pain to actually kill the unit. And you have to do that in one turn because they heal 3 wounds at the beginning of every command phase. So that is both your command phase and your opponent's command phase explicitly. That's not an oversight like it was in the Spirit's Ear. It says that explicitly on the data sheet for Dark Commune. So they're going to be getting tons and tons of wounds back. You have to one-shot the entire unit. And while Eldar do have weapons that can deal with that, you can take things like Shadow Specters for mass blast attacks. Jonathan has not taken those in his army, so Jonathan is feeling pretty sad about this matchup. He does have a Night Spinner, which is going to help a little bit. That thing can put some devastating wound multi-damage, which is going to mitigate the feel no pain a little bit on those Dark Commune. But whichever one that Kyrios wants to be engaging with, he's going to be able to Dark Obscurate, at least assuming it's the Nurgle one. He can't Dark Obscurate the Undivided one to be unshootable. But the Eldar cannot shut down the approach of the Nurgle unit because it can just turn their attacks off. Now, in fairness, there is also a Rhino full of Chaos Chosen, so the big benefit of the Chaos Space Marines right now is that obviously a lot of their army can advance and charge. The Chosen advance and charge for free. The Dark Commune have a once per game ability to advance and charge, and the Raptors advance and charge, or the Warp Talons, excuse me, advance and charge for a command point because they are Slaanesh. The Night Spinner can turn off any one of those, but it can't turn off more than one. So if the Night Spinner hits you, your -2 movement cannot advance. So it restricts pretty heavily the maneuverability of these really fast Chaos units, but unfortunately, there's only one Night Spinner in Jonathan's list. So a little bit of a mismatch, I think, in terms of list construction, but if anybody can pull it out, it's probably Jonathan. But we will see if the illimitable prowess of the rushing chaos horde of gribbling monstrosities can overwhelm the Eldar. However it's going to go, I think it's going to be an exciting game. Oh yeah, let's get a prediction going, chat. Did it not save my last prediction? It's a little bit weird. Don't forget, we do have our new integration, by the way, chats. If you want to add some GIFs or funny text-to-speeches to the chat, the Tangia is live. If you mouse over to the right side of the screen, you can see that extension over there. And use your channel points to play stupid stuff online. Yeah, so going over to Jonathan's list real quick as well, there is a Scathach Wraith Knight in the list, which is very cool. Do I have the Scathach datasheet saved here? Let's take a look. Survey says, I do somewhere. I think here it is. Nailed it. Nailed it. Here's the Scathach Wraith Knight. Let's take a look at this thing real quick. This is an absolutely bizarre profile. It looks like we are actually starting it in Deep Strike. It does have Deep Strike innately. It is wildly expensive, but Deep Strike allows you to put 50% of your points in, or 50% of your points in reserve. So the Wraith Knight is fine for that. It has Deep Strike baked in, so you don't have to strategic reserve it off the side. It can come in 9 inches away from enemies. It is Titanic. It can move over 4-inch tall terrain and enemy models. It also has a warp shunt generator. So once per game, it can uppy downy. So not only can it Deep Strike, so it can come in kind of anywhere that you want, but then it will also do that again. End of your opponent's turn, you can put it into reserve and then pop it back down. And this thing, it slaps pretty hard. It has 2 Inferno Lances. They're essentially Melta weapons. Strength 12, AP 4, D6 damage, Melta +2. So it's D6 plus 6 damage, 8 shots of those, which is pretty insane. And then it is also rocking... it has a couple of top guns as well, which I think are star cannons, but let me just verify real quick here. But the benefit of this thing is that, we're running two star cannons as well, so we're firing an additional 4 strength 8 AP 3/2 damage shots. So this thing is terrifying for heavy infantry. I think if you're, and one of the reasons I think Jonathan probably assigned it to his list is that he's worried about things like Ironstorm Spearhead. So if you're worried about these single kind of insanely high armor save, high resilience targets, the Scathach Race Knight is just gonna kill them. There's almost nothing they can do to survive. You can maybe Armor of Contempt and get into cover to try to get yourself around it. I don't think that we do have Shroud Runners, but I don't believe that they give ignore cover. They just give lethal hits to their units. So you can try to blank the Melta shots and maybe it'll roll bad, but obviously there are Miracle Dice, or there are Strands of Fate dice, and there are Unparalleled Foresight rerolls, all in the mix there. So this thing is gonna be getting work done. It's also not too low volume. Obviously, it's a total of 12 shots once it gets up close and personal to you. It has 5 2-damage melee attacks as well. So against heavy infantry or medium infantry, like it will kill 5 Space Marines no problem, if it really needs to. The downside, obviously, is that it is not quite as exciting against these huge hordes of infantry. So it's not going to be super duper useful today, but it will be a big resilient bulwark that can probably answer the Forge Fiends and or the Obliterators. Those things will all fall to the power of the Scathach Race Knight if Kyrios gives it the line of fire and doesn't Dark Obscurate. But again, I mean, there is a lot of counterplay to these... to the defensive stratagems. You can try to threat overload them. You can try to burn your opponent's command points. And you can kind of try to target select around the Dark Obscuration, force it out of your opponent early. The big downside that some Chaos Space Marine players run into is that they assume that Dark Obscuration will protect their whole army, but in fact it will only protect the first unit that you use it on, and then everyone else is open season. So Jonathan can potentially set up to hit multiple units and then try to get shots off on at least one of them. Old Dread and Rage. Fortunately, I can confirm that the Scathach Wraith Knight is much classier than OG release vanilla Wraith Knight, but also significantly less effective. It is not the horrifying monstrosity that we saw at the beginning of the edition with Wraith Knights absolutely running the table. Basically an unbeatable bulwark within the Aeldari faction. It was extremely difficult to beat a Wraith Knight list if you weren't yourself running a Wraith Knight list. The Scathach Wraith Knight is more maneuverable than those, but obviously it doesn't have the same access to it doesn't have the mortal wound, devastating wounds. It doesn't have the blast weapons. It's a lot worse, but still good. And Jonathan's using it pretty well. I did play against Jonathan with this list. And we played almost to a standstill, essentially. It was an extremely good game. This list is extremely flexible. And the Scathach Wraith Knight adds something really cool that Eldar don't usually have. It's this kind of hyper mobility that they don't... It sounds weird because Eldar are usually the faction of mobility, right? But their mobility isn't always, like, super dangerous. You know, Wraith Guards' threat range is pretty predictable. They're kind of slow in their short range, and they can Phantasm to extend their range, but if you play around that, it's kind of done. But the Scathach Wraith Knight being able to jump up and down sort of multiple times per game means that your you're way more afraid than you would in against other similar units in the Eldar lineup. Mr. King, how's it going? Thank you for coming and hanging out. Thanks everyone for joining in chat. Wow, what are we on for Chaos Space Marines here? 15,000 on Chaos Space Marines. Oh man, you guys are gonna be sad when Jonathan wins this one. Somebody get in there with the 1 for Jonathan, so when he pulls it out somehow, you'll get a huge glut of channel points, of tortoise tokens. What's everybody doing this weekend, by the way? Anybody doing some painting? Anybody got games going on? I think I'm gonna go to an RTT. I kind of have to prep for it though. And it being 9 p.m. the night before the RTT, it might be a foregone conclusion. There is an RTT like 2 hours away from me, but it's so far. But there's a much closer one that I want to go to, but it is it does require me to paint models. Oof. Truant, you gotta vote for Eldar anyway. That's fair. You gotta support your peeps. All right, there we go. We got 5K on Eldar. We're not all in on Chaos Space Marines. 3D printing next Chaos Space Marines. Got spanked by Foul Blight Spawn. Oh my god. The new Death Guard paradigms are so strong, dude. I know Derek, who we watched in a recent game, is now rocking, I think, like 10 characters in a Death Guard list. Like triple Tallyman, triple Blightspawn, triple Putrefier, plus like Typhus. Oh my god, it's insane. All right, here's the roll to go first. Eldar with a 5, CSM with a 3. I think Eldar going first is going to be a pretty big deal for them. Obviously, it lets you deploy the Scathach Wraith Knight one turn earlier. One little bit of interesting bit of technology that not everyone really recognizes from here's the scout moves going down as well, from 10th edition, is that even going first, you actually have you have so much control over your deep strikes, because you're able to hold, if you save CP, you're able to hold your reserves until bottom of 3, and then you can rapid ingress them, and your opponent does not have that option. So not only do you get the first opportunity to drop reserves, and 2 turns to screen reserves that your opponent doesn't necessarily get, but you also get the last opportunity to drop reserves too, which is insanely powerful, and especially with a unit like this Scathach Wraith Knight, that's going to be a big deal. So it looks like we got a pretty interesting bevy of Miracle Dice here. 4 1s and a 2, but those are going to be discarded to the Farseer, I think, pretty easily. Pretty quickly, and then the 6s, I think, is what Jonathan's really excited about. So starting with a nice fortune down on the Avatar of Cain to keep that guy alive, although there's not too much that's going to be threatening him right now. You might as well keep in practice, though. The Shroud Runners, unfortunately, had to scout move out of range of that, but I think that's where that would be otherwise. Now, these Shroud Runners are going to push up and probably try to deal as much damage to the Accursed Cultist as possible. One thing that Chaos is very susceptible to, and we're seeing Jonathan use it right now here, he's very carefully measuring his movement around the walls. One thing that Chaos is very susceptible to is because most of their movement is in the movement phase, is jamming. So if you move your models up just outside of engagement range of a Chaos Space Marine model, all of that threat range that we just talked about, their ability to advance and charge, I mean, mostly their ability to advance and charge, to be fair, is entirely negated, because suddenly that unit can only move 1 inch before bumping into you. So there are situations where you can simply, if you have enough units that you can jam into these Cursed Cultist bricks, you can simply stop them in their tracks until you get to a position where you can levy those 36 wounds that you need to actually kill the unit. And that's really the #1 way to deal with units like these, is you just have to mitigate them until you can actually kill them. So that's what we're seeing Jonathan do here. Jamaharon, thank you for the sub, my dude. Big Twitch Prime, I appreciate that. The support is greatly appreciated. Only had 7 characters. The character spams is crazy in 10th edition. I was like kind of miffed that Assassination was still on the roster. It's always kind of annoying when you're like, oh, my faction's baked around characters, but I'm being punished for taking lots of them. Yeah, I think that's fair now. Characters are so cheap because of the new leader mechanics that a lot of armies can take dozens of characters. And so giving your opponent some modicum of counterplay to that, I think, is kind of good. But you can also counterplay the counterplay, and you can unattach your characters or play them very conservatively, and then your opponent is kind of screwed anyway, which I think is also fun. Gone first is Grey Knight 90% of your games. It's been super lame. Going first is Grey Knight sounds great. Oh, I guess you can't pick up on the first round, right? Or you can't drop turn bottom of 1 Grey Knights if you go first, because your opponent hasn't had a first turn. That's a little bit, yeah, that's a little bit weird. That's very specific for Grey Knights, though. Yeah. Unfortunate. But you do get turn 1, so if you have natural Deep Strikers, you can drop them turn 2 or turn 3. Or, bottom 3 with an Ingress, which is good. And an Ingressing Drago is... I guess not Drago, but like an Interceptor Squad or something is really dangerous. They move so fast. Remember that early 10th edition GCN with all the Space Spirit and the characters in the Land Raider? I do. I remember that very fondly. So yeah, we were having a long discussion about that list just yesterday, I think, with Valdor. I think another challenge list that might get played this coming week is something very similar. I posted it in the Space Marine channel in the Discord if you want to go look at it. We're mostly just abusing Company of Heroes as much as we can, or Company Heroes as much as we can. Company of Heroes. But then almost everything else in the list is a character. There we go. Starweaver towing onto the objective. Does that have that hull measurement because it's a vehicle? It's a non-walker vehicle.
Yeah, basically counted for me now. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, with the new FAQ to vehicles, yes.
Yeah, it's not a walker, so it uses hull.
Yeah. But I can't see you from there, so I'm just gonna back up a smidge just to be just barely.
Just on there.
It's primary for this priority target. So only
It's priority target.
Yeah. The Death Jester probably gonna come up here. He's there. Can you get on a sight to you? Does his gun stick up high enough? It does. Perfect. The other option, go here, but then you just Nurgle strat. And then he's sad because he can't shoot anything.
Oh, he can shoot what?
He can shoot the green squad. Because, like I was saying, with the cape, I can get line of sight down into the middle here, basically.
Okay. I thought you would need to come under that building.
No, because I can just touch the terrain, right?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah, so we can get line of sight there.
You're trying to force the Dark Obscuration out early from Jonathan's opponent here.
Yeah.
We are on tacticals today. We should put the objective types in here. We are on tacticals today for the Chaos Space Marines. I need to update that overlay. I need to have an undetermined or like unassigned secondary card before we've double checked with the players what they are.
Okay, so the two options are the Cursed Cultist in green, and he also feeds the other one?
He can see these guys over here.
I'm lagging. I don't know what you thought. Yeah, okay. The
guy.
other Cursed, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that guy, and then this one over.
Oh, look at these tight lines of sight, chat. Oh, look at it's base rock to cloak right here on both of those mutants. True line of sight, everybody! What a time to be alive. New update, I mean, that's not that new. It's like a month old at this point, but we did reduce the size of the ruins in the corners here for T5S2 maps to less than 2 inches so that you can move over them with big stuff. So the Avatar of Cain advancing along the side of the table.
No.
And Harlequins don't do that by themselves.
Nope. They lost it. It's very sad.
What is their option?
So I think was the updated mission decks. I kind of hope not. I bought a mission deck and I literally haven't used it yet. Honestly, I do think that if we don't see an updated mission deck, I do think that we will probably see an update to the Leviathan Tournament Companion. in order to just address some of the issues I think that people are having. There's some like pretty common, I think, complaints with the system so far. There's some situations like servo skulls on search and destroy maps. I think is like a real problem. There's some of the mission modifiers that are a little busted, and I think some of the missions probably some more of the missions should probably shuffle on the first turn. For example,
3 can go 10.
Yeah, capture enemy outpost. Round 1 is like, okay, really? Sure. Honestly, like, I think you should probably just get a mulligan going first on your first turn, on your first round, because there is a lot of them that you just kind of get pooped on, especially if you go first. Sometimes going first just loses you the game, because you're like, I go first, pull 2 bad secondaries, and then can't redraw them. Or I burn my new order's top of 1, which is super dangerous, which you probably don't do. And then you're just like very sad, basically.
Rhino with the Night Spinner. Hey. And then Fuegan will advance 6, so we can go to 13. Just gonna move on to this objective.
Fix feels more situational. So I think the interesting thing right now is how polarizing that opinion is.
I think it's just 2.
Wait,
What's
okay.
we were supposed to see 1.
Okay, so the swooping hawks are not on the objective.
No, they're not. All right. I think that is the end of the moon phase.
So Jonathan basically locking in a Phantasm on the Death Shifter here, I think, to try to keep him alive from Torment push.
I think they're just gonna hang out.
Jonathan just doing his final positioning here. Yeah, so I know there are so many people who swear by fixed secondaries, like will only ever take fixed secondaries because they don't want to get like do get that turn 1, screw basically. And there are so many people, Jamaharan, I think like us, who only take tactical secondaries. And I think part of it's the faction. There are some factions who are very good at fixed, and there are some factions who are very good at tactical. It's the maneuverable factions and the ones that have lots of like agency in the game, I think, are better at tactical because they can usually choose what they do every turn. And the higher model count, more like straightforward factions are better at fixed, The ones that have the extra models that can do, like, if they need to, multiple action secondaries. Whereas a lot of armies can't do that. They just simply don't have the unit count. It also, I think, is situational. I think there are situations like this mission, probably, where there is an argument for Chaos Space Marines to deploy Teleport Hummers Cleanse. Because they have enough fast characters and transports that they can push the middle with deploy Teleport Hummers. And then they have 3 objectives within easy striking distance of their deployment zone they can cleanse every turn. And like we talked about, the Eldar, they have the volume to get through the Chaos Space Marine army eventually, but it's not a fast process, and it's unlikely to happen very quickly. All right, we got some attacks going on right here.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we get a 1, of course. And then these explode like that. And they wound on strength 6, so
yeah, here
3s.
comes the big Death Jester shot.
So 1 dev wound, 4 AP 1s.
And then nothing.
No
2 damage
damage.
each.
Yep.
2 damage each. Okay, I will do it on the little ones and I will reroll that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ammo.
So that was on Green Squad. We elected Nart to dark obscurate them. Not to dark obscurate them. So
What's the intel on the blue scribes?
that I think works out for the Chaos Space Marines because that gives them a little bit of an extra push up to the top objective here, so it's easier for them to get there if they want to touch that. And then they can limit further firepower with Dark Obscuration. So, and most of those casualties are going to respawn anyway. By Jonathan's next turn, that unit will be back to full strength.
But yeah, nothing else is within 12 inches. Themselves, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good. Yeah. And then scatter lasers.
that's 18.
And these are lethal. Just let me double check to make sure.
So according to this here, they are.
I did not use my hit reroll, so then I will reroll hits.
Okay.
Okay. And then strength 5, so 3s. So that many.
This is a good profile into these guys. You don't care about being AP 0, but high volume strength 5 is really what you want. It's not quite good enough. And we kept the Demagogue in the back here. Yeah, Demagogue's hiding as far away as we can be. Please, sir, don't shoot my leader with the sniper rifles.
7 points
Yep.
exactly.
I
Okay.
should have not.
And then the Night Spinner. Do we want to start chipping away at cultists, or do we want to check? Or even just no, the Rhino's not worth it. He just sits behind that wall game.
The Warp Talon hit does feel pretty
let's
good.
go
Mitigating those units
into-
is a big deal, and plus
Let's
they
go into
can
these
advance
Curse
and charge.
Cultists.
No, we're
Yeah.
gonna put it there. Do we see Dark
How many
Obscuration?
shots
Oh
do we
no,
get?
we're out of CP.
4 plus 3.
That is
7
into
plus
the green ones?
the green ones, yeah.
Okay, +3.
Plus 3. Okay, so then we're looking at 10 shots. 4s. Reroll.
Indirect penalty coming in.
And then
Coming in clutch for these little guys.
3s to wound. Hey,
Yeah,
Trevi,
I
are
think-
we using the World Championship FAQ? So like, can I fate dice a reroll?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a separate roll.
Okay, so I'll just hold on to 1.
That is in fact just core rolls.
Wounding on 3s. I don't think I need dev wounds against you now that I think about it. So I'll just reroll that normally, and then the last one. Wound does not wound, but then I'll just use a 1 and change it to a 6, so it's a dev wound. So 2 saves and 1 dev wound on the.
They are within. How did you make it into a 6? You need to be within range
The
of who?
farser. This is
Like
the night
English-
spinner. This is the night spinner.
Oh,
Should you
okay,
take literally in base
I was
contact?
somehow still at the, okay.
Yeah.
So
So 2
three of them?
saves and 1. No, 2
never
saves and
mind.
1.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
dev wound.
Good.
Oh, look at
Okay,
that!
And then
It's
the
2
2 damage
damage.
each.
Yep.
Let me just see what I can roll 2 more sixes.
Okay. And then so
Und
we're
ich
not
habe
gonna shoot
hinzugelegt, wer
anything.
direkt davor gelegen.
They're Nurgold. So yeah, and then these guys are slowed.
Yeah.
And that I think is the end of shooting. Do I want to fire and fade him to get him to safety? I need to, 'cause he's
Yeah, the danger here. We slowed the back unit, so the danger is that the front unit, like, gets a 6 on an advance, calls its advance and charge,
this way.
and then just like pushes basically up to base contact with the Death Jester and goes for a 7-inch charge, which would be a disaster if the Death Jester went down. That guy is so lethal to these units, and his presence alone. Once the Shroud Runners will die this turn, assuredly, but his presence alone, because I believe he can turn his gun into precision, if I remember correctly. I'm just gonna verify that real quick. But threatens the demagogues to such an extent that they have to push themselves into the back line. Any way that you can string those Accursed Cultist units out dramatically reduces their effectiveness in melee and makes their casualty, their save allocation super duper weird.
Are you here with overturn?
Yep.
Okay. So my task will be.
This is data sheet. Oh, I had so much trouble finding it. Yeah, so he can gain precision if he doesn't gain his sustain 3. But we are, I believe, running Fate's Messenger. Yeah, so we can auto-assign a 6 on a wound roll, so automatic devastating wounds.
Okay.
And then all you have to do is Fate dice a single other of his 3 hits into a 6. And that's also devastating wounds. And then the 2 devastating wounds, which straight kills the demagogue. So you're never, ever allowed to put the demagogues in line of sight of the Death Jester until they've used their once per game ability. Losing the invulnerable save on the Torment unit or on the Curse Cultist unit is pretty scary, but It's not the end of the world, but losing that advance and charge, that once per game advance and charge, is huge. And there's that capture enemy outpost round 1, chat. You love to see it for Chaos Space Marines. Bring it down, capture enemy outpost. That is an unfortunate draw in the first round, and that is sort of what we were talking about with those turn 1 draws. Give him a mulligan on this, please. Jonathan already up 7 points on primary or on secondary, and I don't know if Chaos Space Marines are gonna get anything. Those bikes are mounted; they don't count for bring it down. We could try to push the Torments up around the Star Weavers or the Shroud Runners into the Star Weaver, but that charge, because they have to go around this jamming unit, is gonna be so long. I don't know if it's worth it. Giving a private boat to the Death Jester. That is pretty good. You do have to, I believe, disembark him to use his special ability, though, right? Yeah, because he can't use his cruel amusement while inside the transport, if I remember correctly. All right, here come the mutants respawning in the front.
No way, yeah. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Walking forward.
Use the rapid embarkation to jump back in. That's very good.
Okay.
I'm not
Real
able to
Drukari
do
energy
what I would
there,
like
which I
to. I would
appreciate.
just put him on the other.
The Fates Messenger Death Jester is so scary. You see, for a while, people are running 2 Death Jesters. The second one is like so much less dangerous than the Fates Messenger one, but it's still pretty good. Here comes the mutants.
No.
Oh my god, okay.
No. Yeah. Is it okay if I just move them 4 inches here? And then have...
Sure.
I mean, I knew that I can't get on the objective. Those are the 3 guys in front of it.
Okay.
So from over here. So they are within 6 inches of the wall. So that's fine. Yeah.
Well,
This guy here.
it's 6 of the far side of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I guess.
For me, it's
I don't-
just Did I mention already that I don't like them? The 2 guys were not able to make it to the other side.
Yeah.
That was what started the whole thing. Okay. And then...
So pretty good round 1 out of Jonathan, I think, so far, especially in light of these secondary draws from Chaos Space Marines.
No.
It doesn't feel like Kyrios has too many outs right now. And I appreciate that Jonathan's doing his best to split the fight, especially because that Death Jester is so dangerous to the Demagogues. The Accursed Cultist units have to string so far, which means that the if they want to engage the units over on this side of the table, they are like super limited on how they can do that, because if they ever push the Demigod too far and the Death Jester gets line of sight to him, he's just dead. But Kyrios looks like he's playing relatively cagey here. Probably waiting for his turn 2 reserves to come in. We do have we don't have any actual reserves besides the Scathach Wraith Knight for Jonathan. He might be able to spread his army far enough to limit the good disembarks out of the Forge Fiends, or the good strategic reserves out of the Forge Fiends, I should say. But I don't think it's quite enough to prevent them from coming in anywhere.
Or here. And basically to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So just to confirm, these guys can't do any movement shenanigans.
No.
They
No,
are
they're
just
stuck.
there to get sacrificed. And that's it. They are pretty nice move. I would have liked to go for it. But I guess you can imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely sequenced it correctly. It's like here.
Here she is.
50.
Say hello. Here she goes.
Make sure that your currency is fine. Okay.
Xeno spotted.
So they're swooping off.
Indeed.
They can all leave.
Terrifying
the end of my turn,
Xenos.
then come in afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I will apply my volcanics. So if I'm inside the building, can you see me? Yes, because I
Position to
didn't know.
investigate signals. Yeah, right in the top corner. Here.
Probably. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I would have to put a model in there, tell, but
No. If I'm in the building, like this.
yeah,
you would see.
it depends on how tall you are, right? Like,
I think I am too tall.
God, like I was doing backflips. Yeah, I could see you with stuff if you're in the building.
Okay.
I don't think I could see you with like my swooping hawks because they're too short, but like with the Star Weaver that's taller, I can see you with the Star Weaver. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is now.
That was just a
120.
clone model, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make sure that if you did it, that it's up.
Yep.
Okay. He moves.
10.
Avatar, okay, moves 10 and then can advance with +1. I will advance those. Welcome.
Sure.
Okay. Avatar is. Oh, she found. Okay.
Ooh, aggressive.
I have 17, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
trying to offering up the trade here. Hello, Mr. Avatar of Cain. Would you like to chew
So it's
on
not the
5
coolest
warp
thing to
talons? Sure.
Identify how many people are on the objective, but that's 2.
You have 2 on it right now, yes.
Okay.
And one little piece of technology you can use, chat. You can right-click on an objective marker to select it. And that will actually highlight it through terrain. You can also use State 3 on the State menu on these ones to give it a big cylinder. But right-clicking it is an easy way to do it without doing the cylinder. The cylinder is kind of funky sometimes. I think Jonathan might take that trade, to be fair, though, on the warp talons. Takes his opponent away from an objective, and the Avatar. I don't know if it has too many good targets in this game. I guess there's a universe somewhere where it gets a big charge into a unit and it gets line of sight to the Demagogue and epic duels him, but
Sure.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I guess that is my movement.
Warp talons are real good for sure, chat. They're just
Vault gun!
thank you, chat. They're just enough damage and just fast enough that they're super obnoxious.
Probably just Phantasm for Death Jester because they don't
So
want to give you the option.
looks like considering a Phantasm here, the Curse Cultist didn't go far enough to get a good charge into the Death Jester. But there is a universe where you get enough to put the mutants around the Shroud Runners and then open these models to move wherever they want, and then they could move far enough forward this way that they can get a pile in into the Death Jester. That is a possibility, which would be dangerous, and that guy will super duper die if he gets touched. So yeah, you just run him away as far as you can. It's not like he's gonna have trouble shooting people next turn. Longship Loft, yeah, we were talking about the Scathach Wraith Knight earlier. We can pull its data sheet back up real quick to talk about it. It's super wild. It is a...
I mean, I don't need to declare you as a charge, but
it's a big Wraith Knight profile. That's instead of being equipped with the D cannons, it's equipped with Inferno Lances, which are big Melta weapons. Melta 2 4-shot Melta weapons. So it gets 4 shots from each of those. So it has a total of 8. plus 2 star cannon shots from each star cannon. So a total of 12 shots, all high AP multi-damage. It has deep strike, so it is currently in reserve deep striking, and it has an up-down. So its shunt generator can end of opponent's movement phase, put it back into reserves, and then deep strike it again. So it's like a regular Wraith Knight, but hyper mobile. Although its obviously range is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, no, I need to
Then like 2.
clear it.
Yeah, so you should be fine. Yeah, you can do 5 to there basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one breaks it here.
Yeah, the invulnerable save is also pretty strong. And I think as we were talking about the
No space.
the meta right now is like pushing towards a little bit of a tank meta. I think as people were kind of anticipating when the edition was announced, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's going to be tank meta all the time," and that didn't really materialize. It did a little bit, but not so much. Mostly because Eldar killed them. But now we're seeing Ironstorm Spearhead so popular. It's looking like the tank meta might be returning, and that Scatha Trait Knight. Oh man, how many Redemptor Dreadnoughts does that guy kill? Because it is a lot. Oh yeah, you're right, Chet. The invulnerable save might be a war gear option. Yeah, I think it is a war gear option. So it's just on its on the normal Wraith Knight 2 up. Yeah, good call out. Which is, to be fair, usually fine. The 2-up saving cover is basically a 4+ invuln against most armies in the game. So here comes the charge, trying to maximize our movement into these Shroud Runners. I think we're going to try to set up a situation where we're going to tow into this middle objective. That does sort of open them up to shooting, but they're going to be in line of sight anyway. Force the Eldar to deal with that unit, keep the rest of the army unscathed, and counterpunch. And this is why these demagogue positions are so important, chat. This demagogue is strung all the way back to the back of the unit, which means if the unit wants to get any more forward pressure, it's going to have to start stringing itself to sort of maximum coherency, which makes, if it takes a lot of damage from like the Swooping Hawks, like Jonathan is set up to hammer this unit. If it takes a lot of damage from those things, then it's gonna start recoiling in a big way. You're gonna have to start pulling from the front and losing all that distance because the coherency is so funky. When we say in cover, gonna petition for that to be the norm. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I always tell my opponent whether or not they are in or out of cover from my attacks. I just think it's good etiquette. Because, like, sometimes it does happen, right? You know, I think it feels like people are taking the ignore cover stuff less, because I think that we're just pushing, like, AP value super high. But for a while, like, it was a 50-50 in the first season, pre-Data Slate 2, I guess. Like, everybody was on ignore cover. You know, you had those, like, the Storm of Fire Desolators, the big Storm of Fire Fire Discipline combo for Space Marines was all ignore cover. Tyranids were always running, like, millions of Pyrovores. Eldar ran millions of Vipers, so they all had, everyone had ways to get around cover. Astra Militarum had millions of Hellhounds, and everyone was rocking big numbers of those guys.
I don't want to any of those. Okay. And it's over to you.
So a bit of a standard round one. For the Chaos Space Marines, the Shroud Runners definitely did their job. They've sacrificed themselves for the greater good. But that means a low scoring round one for Chaos Space Marines, and Jonathan is pretty happy about that. I think he's banking on his ability to score a bunch of points with this super mobile army. And then here come the rest of the mutants back. Oh, and Kyrios has gotten them far enough up the table that he can steal that objective as well. Now, we are on priority targets today, chat, so you can only score up to 10 VP per turn. But Curious is putting himself into a position where it's basically impossible for him not to score that 10 VP. The Eldar would have to push him off of 3 objectives, which seems extremely difficult. Especially since his Demagogue is in the back on the back objective here. So Jonathan would basically have to kill this entire Torment unit. And put something on that objective to prevent that from scoring too. Because that's locked in thanks to the nearby Chaos Cultists. And then I also appreciate this movement here. The Cultists start of the command phase, or end of their own command phase, locked in the objective, and then moved off of it. So that if Jonathan draws overwhelming force, he cannot kill them for it. Secure no man's land, deploy teleport homers on the table for Eldar. Oh, easy game. Wow. It is a little bit frustrating, I think, for Jonathan that he has to sacrifice a model shooting here to score his teleport homer, but if he's committing his Starweaver, he might just be doing that anyway. So he should be up for another 8-point primary score, and Jonathan's just going to be racking up the victory points here as much as he can. Are we considering a deep strike from this Gathers Wraith Knight? The downside, the scary part here is that the Wraith Knight is, I think, pretty susceptible to those Forge Fiends. I'd be a little worried about that. But I guess it's a question of whether or not Jonathan values the Avatar of Cain versus the Wraith Knight. Because I think the Forge Fiends can kill any one of them, but I don't think they can kill both. All right. Avatar moving forward. Oh, maybe he's measuring his own Deep Strike denial, so he can try to prevent strategic reserves off the side here. And he has the Outstrike Wayleaper to take up space as well.
Item shot, maybe something like this.
Potentially, yeah. I'll advance the Autark. 6, so we can go 20.
Casual 20 inches. No big deal.
Here. Well.
Yeah, that will be the end of your movement phase, I guess.
No.
They're coming down at the end.
Yes.
At
I'm
the
just
end
figuring
of your
out
movement
where,
phase. No, for sure.
where they
Figure
can
that out, and we know that these are coming down
yeah, exactly.
at the end. Yeah.
So they can go like that.
I apologize if Inky's camera is in the way of the exciting maneuvering over on the side here. Let's make her smaller. Sorry, Inky.
That's your ultra.
There you go.
So if he goes to like here,
That way
then
we can
keep
see the
that
action and the
spot
cat.
sc-
Because you're so cute.
Probably what he does. So that's 16 there. He'd shoot you for what it's worth, although probably not worth. Okay, so the Autark will go there. And then the Farseer will shuffle over this way. Make sure that this is blocked. This. And then Night Spinner. This. Okay, we'll advance Rangers. 2, so they can go 9. Probably just something like this. Rangers. Have to figure out where the Wraith Knight's going. How tall is this?
Yeah, between reserve and the it's kind of between the reserve and the transport, because there's 2 chosen inside the transport as well that we have to keep in mind too.
You would come down like this. Shoot you, then move here in theory. So I just gotta make sure there's space behind the Rangers there. If he wants to end like So Rangers will need to be.
Whoa! What is this committal on the Scathach Wraith Knight? Way in the back.
Need to do.
What are we shooting at?
Guess
He moves 10.
the Wraith Knight, yeah.
So I'm not sure whether.
No, it
Yeah, we
doesn't.
start in the middle of the building. Yeah, you can
'cause he's
start in
gonna
the middle of the
start
building. Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
So I think you would want and like this.
Just watch
more
out,
or
because I'm not
less.
sure he ignores the wall there for movement, so he would probably have to
Why is
either
that?
parkour it or move over it. Because it,
Why is that?
if I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
correctly, he,
this
he
wall, yeah.
checks the height of the feature, right? Not the height of the, not the height that he's traveling.
That's a good question. Um, yeah, terrain
By the
feature.
way, I don't
So
know
then-
for
so
how
then, yeah,
long,
you
but
can.
our time is not running anymore.
No, it is.
No, probably it's. Okay. Then I was just like, okay.
Yeah, so then I guess if we do something like that, well, he needs to be with you. So if he's like this,
So a bit of a weird one, chat. The terrain feature is the entirety of the base plus the accoutrements on top.
if he's like that, he's within 12.
It's the
and
entire
then
miniature that
we
you're
can
using.
Go
So the
like 2 inches there.
the Wraith Knight only checks the height of the terrain
3
at its
inches
highest point when he's
there.
looking at whether or not he can cross
There's
it.
5.
It's a little bit
and then another
funky.
5 back. Okay, so that's probably just what we do then. Yeah.
So your hogs need to move away first.
Oh yes, 100%.
Rhino's
Yeah,
in
no,
the
no.
Inside the building here,
So-
chat. Yeah, sorry, it's behind a wall.
There.
It is behind the waves of Accursed Cultists.
This is a
It's
12.
It's also very well camouflaged on the lava ruins here. Here, we'll do a nice little top down. Not that that helps really.
So big.
I mean, maybe we could give the Rhino a color. There you go. That should be better.
So he's 12 there now. And then-
I'm lagging, so I can't
yeah, so that should be
confirm
fine.
that.
Yep, he's 12 with this guy.
You thought that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to eject Chosen
we
onto
just
those
need to
middle
get the-
objectives if
hogs
he needs to.
behind
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's flip him over for now. Of course, I can't pick up the Hawks, so we know where he's going to be. So
Yeah.
the Hawks may as well advance them. 6, so they can go 20. So actually, that does put them in there. So they could do homers there. So then, if anything, I don't even need to put the green over there to do homers, but they'd want to screen. I guess I could screen with the warp spider. Yeah, I think I want big homers, so he'll go to there. That just put a guy here.
Yeah, that was a good call out, by the way,
Maybe
Truant.
or just with his big toe in your deployment zone.
Jonathan's not looking at his drop point for the Scathach Wraith
2.
Knight with the intention of fire and
He's
fading it
gonna
back
go
behind the terrain
here.
so it can't be killed by.
I gave you
Forge
the 1
feeds.
inch.
Yeah.
round then.
2.
I think that's 100% what's happening at the top corner. Yeah, the warp talons over here
Hawks.
are they want to trade for the avatar basically. With I guess
And
the
the
interesting
lost
part
one,
is
just-
the interesting question I think is that whether the Accursed Cultist unit with as spread as it is, and given that that's a Nurgle unit, not the Undivided one. The Undivided ones are white or red, I think. Means that it is.
Thank you. What's the OC on the cultists, actually?
It doesn't have access to good
the
profane zeal, so I don't
Accursed
even know
Cultist
if they kill the
2,
Avatar by themselves.
And
That's a little
the
dangerous
Dark
of a
One
charge.
is 1.
All right, so they'll go there. The
But
Death
he does want it
Jester
closer.
can Go to
He might just put a Chosen unit in
here.
this corner, and the Chosen will kill the Avatar, probably. So you can put a Chosen unit in this corner and threaten them on the subsequent turn if the Avatar stays there. The 2 damage on the Torments, yeah, but but it's -1 damage thanks to the Avatar's ability. Or half damage, I should say.
This Star Weaver will go. Do I want to get the guys out? Probably not. Go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
No.
tickle. Although, to be fair, it doesn't kill them either. I think it's 14 attacks on its sweep
Actually, at this point, do I
profile, or
actually
12
just wanna put
attacks.
the Death
Just
Gesture
12 attacks,
inside the tree?
which is a lot of damage.
That actually,
But given that you can fall back and charge,
although actually no, because I can't use his ability.
so you don't even need to stay in melee with it and eat the multiple hits
so
from
we'll
it.
just put the Star
So
Weaver like
It'll
this.
kill like 7 or 8 models, and then you get 6 of them back by your next turn, assuming you don't
Then
get back into melee.
Flagon can come out 7.
Very careful movement from these
Here.
players here at this game.
So
I think Jonathan recognizes he basically has to play this like
and
perfectly.
yeah, the Rangers just basically forget exactly where the Wraith Knight's going to end up. I think it's something like this.
He does have
so
good
I'm just gonna
Overwatch.
make sure that
Although
the
it's not great
Rangers
Overwatch into
not-
mutants, to be fair, right? You just like kill some blasted blades and then
Right.
that's it.
I think he was closer to the edge of the building.
It's good
I
on the
think it was
Chosen though.
something
If
like
the
that,
Chosen
yeah.
are out in the open, he will kill a bunch of them.
And at that point, I don't need to screen that there. Okay, so let's figure out exactly where the Wraith Knight's going now.
I'm not picking the edge.
So there we go. All right, 11.9. I think that's good enough.
Good.
And then so
If you're
basically,
missing 0.1, we know that.
yeah, he would
want
drop
to clear
there,
there.
shoot there. So I'm just gonna do the Fire and Fade right now because that's
Okay,
literally all he's gonna do. So 1 inch there,
1 inch there.
and then 4 inches to there is 5 inches, and then use 5 more to.
Oh, but he
to
will
set-
not
no,
get out of the
he
building.
will-
Not clear the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me.
That makes him quite
replace-
shootable.
Oh yes. Okay, here. So if he wants to clear the wall,
Overwatch good against obliterators.
like this.
Yes and no.
he goes.
Because the obliterators can just
3
indirect
inches
fire him,
Like
right?
this.
then
So depending
1,
on where he ends up, they
four.
can just drop out of line of sight and then shoot him
1
anyway.
more is 5, and then 2 more is 7, and then I'm just gonna do this. 7 there, and then we can go 1 more inch. There is 8. 8 inches there. Then 9 inches there. And then 10 inches. So yeah, so there is a way for me to be behind the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll 5 player. So the Green Hawks don't need to be there then because we're doing homers.
Always
with Red Hawks.
Homers, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, it is beneficial for Jonathan for his opponent to burn the
Spiders could
obliterators
come over as well.
indirect
and get
early.
some decent shots over here.
So he might be okay with that anyway.
Because I want to kill as many.
And
of these
honestly,
things as I
I don't know if the Avatar kills too
Um,
many of the
kind of going all in on these guys.
obliterators.
So
himself anyway.
yeah, they'll flicker jump.
I guess it is D6+2, so he only needs a 3 to kill them.
Um,
Ooh, jumping in the warp
you
spiders.
Only
have
that's
nobody
8.
on this objective. Is that
Got
right?
it. I think. Yeah, not yet.
Nobody. Okay. So then,
But you know that I have 1 more mutant that I can regenerate. So I will have some.
oh, you do have 1 more. Okay. So then
Yeah,
they're
I-
OC2.
I don't-
So I'll just
Good
put 2
call
guys
out
on
from
that objective
Kyrius
then.
here, making sure his opponent knows the game
So
state.
1
I
there,
appreciate that. That's some sportsmanship.
2 there.
Don't forget, you killed a bunch of my guys, and they didn't like that.
The X
So
can
again,
go
gonna
like
try to
this.
use the warp spiders. We're gonna shoot a bunch of devastating
Options,
wound guns, and then
and then
block off movement.
do they hurt themselves? No.
I wish some of those
that is only
abilities
a mortal wound, not even.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
were more consistent.
Is pretty good.
The negative
then these
abilities are
hawks
doing
just
stuff.
want to hold.
I kind of
block
wish.
this gap here.
Let me know how you feel about this chat. I kind of wish Hazardous was D3 mortal wounds to characters and vehicles, but triggered on like a 1, 2, or 3, or like a 1 and a 2 or something. So it wasn't like quite as devastating when you roll a bunch of them, but it's like an actual meaningful threat. Because right now it feels like it's so spiky and it doesn't spike, and it's like so rare anyway that you just do it all the time. But I feel like if you're
Yeah, I think I just.
if it's
safe return.
more consistent, like less damage but more consistent, I think it's like much more of an actual threat. That's how I would rewrite hazardous.
I don't think they're. I guess if you're tall enough, you can see.
And the
over
same
it.
for like the warp spiders mortal wound thing. You almost never don't flicker jump them because you're like whatever, 1 mortal wound on a 1 in 6. But what if it was, you know, I guess it would still have to be 1 mortal wound probably. Maybe it was like
Let's.
a hit or something on
It's
like
kinda
a
over
4+.
here, but just kind of is what it is.
Only relevant on Crisis? Yeah, basically. Or 3 wound characters. 3 wound characters hate it. And like Inceptors, to be fair, you know, big
So-
Inceptor squads. You roll like six
That's
hazardous
the
checks on those guys. Sometimes you lose 2 or 3.
Um,
But it is funny that the
me
difference
a
in
moment
power
to see
level of a
whether
plasma
my
pistol on a 4 wound character versus a
operator
3 wound
is
character
putting
is like
that out.
astronomical.
probably.
Because a 3 wound character, you almost never use it, but the 4 wound character, you do it all the time. Considering
like
a
to be
rapid
much
ingress here for the
usable by,
Obliterators. Oh, damn.
This dude
Can
over
Magnus
here.
use both of his psychic attacks or pick one? Both of them!
Make it
He gets
harder.
both every turn, Mr. Damned Legion. Magnus is a Chad.
The Death Chester, what is the AP?
Models, unless they are non-monster vehicle and are electing to fire pistol weapons, models fire all of their ranged weapons every time they are activated in the shooting phase. Or every time they are activated to shoot.
His line is here. and
Look at
you
this
don't
drop.
have a ton of
Are we
there.
screened by
It's
the
like-
warp spider?
Yeah,
That seems
this purple. This guy's too close to the
this
warp
feels
spider.
very dangerous.
No, the line is. I'm already inside the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Um,
really scary, actually.
okay,
I don't
so
think Jonathan
let's
expected this
also
either.
Look at GC anymore. Is there somewhere else?
Yeah, I think that the Wraith Knight's shooting at mutants right now, which is maybe like literally the least valuable thing besides cultists, I guess, that it could be shooting at. But I think that in order to be outside the screening of the warp spiders, those obliterators have to be in line of sight of the Wraith Knight. And then Jonathan 100% takes that shot and just probably kills them. Oof. Want to see some amazing hazardous rolls? Watch Robo Shark play Tau. 3 shitty suits per firing activation. I have a game on the VOD channel against RoboShark playing a Simulation Swarm. And I think I moved a Haruspex into his range and told him that if he shot the Haruspex and overcharged his guns, he'd probably kill it. But he would probably kill more points in Crisis Suits than he would deal in damage to those Tyranid army.
That's the big one.
I was like, if you want to do for it, do that, go for it.
Who?
The Wraith Knight is shooting the cultist.
Okay. No, it's not.
You good? Okay. So hitting on 3s, the reroll, and 2s to wounds, the
Are
reroll.
those Star Cannons?
No, these
Those
are the
are-
cannons, the Inferno Lances.
The
AB4.
Infernal. So 2 go out, and I will surprisingly take it on little ones. Just roll the damage. If it's 1 or 2, I
Yep.
roll it. Otherwise, I don't.
I mean, it's so 8, 8, and 5.
Okay. So it's,
Goodbye.
plus 2. Yeah, no,
It's
then
plus
you would
2 or
have not
4.
needed to.
Yeah, no,
Not
7, 7,
needed
and 4.
to
Yeah, yeah.
roll it.
Okay. And then the Star Cannons, 3 hits, 2s, 3 more wounds.
To be honest, is it? Do I want to novel there? Yeah, it's my own detriment, but I will actually novel.
Okay. Well, I mean,
It would have
yeah,
been
it's
-1 to
two-
hit already before, but
Yeah,
It
2
would
hit
have
for
been
this
-1 to
activation,
hit
but
it.
for the next ones,
Eh.
yes.
okay. Good. Yeah.
So 3 more saves, 2 damage each.
Okay, so you already rolled it. I
Yeah.
thought you were.
I mean,
waiting for me.
this.
Yeah,
No.
that's all good, all good, all good. And these are 2 damage, 3 damage.
Yep, 2 each.
Okay. Okay, only 1.
Right, and then he will fire and fade. So,
Yeah.
wherever the spot was, it's like it's there.
You already deducted 1 CP from me?
Yeah, I'm down at 2.
No, for me.
Oh,
Because I
no,
was
I have not.
at-
I have not deducted a CP.
So I got 1 at the end of my turn. I got 1 at the beginning of my turn. There was a 3, 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw that there was a 4 before, but it was you.
Yes, I was at 4. Now I'm at...
Mhm.
So,
Chad, I got a second 3D printer up and running today, and they're all purring away
that
behind me.
is
It's
done.
pretty exciting.
Let's go ahead and
One, my OG 3D printer's in for repairs, but I have 2 more, and I have another coming in the mail. Actually, we're gonna be a printer farm over here. It's gonna be so cool.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Give himself sustained hits 3. So miss. Aeldari reroll. Okay, I'll just change that to a 6.
Okay.
Next one is a 6. Cool, and the last one is
Oh
also a 6. Okay.
my God, chat! Look at this Dark Reaper shot. That was 3 sustains. Oh, no!
Maybe
That's
2 each.
so brutal. All right. Actually, it didn't actually do that much damage. I think Jonathan's dice really betrayed him at the end there. But that was insane.
So the Hawks are doing the action.
I'll shoot 3 times, hit 9. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the Hawks
fine.
haven't declared the action yet, but yes.
Don't you have? Ah, okay. Yeah, it's in the shooting phase.
Yeah.
Want to do it? Okay. Yeah, I take it on. I have enough small guys. 1, 2, 3. So that's a total of 6. I will roll it
Yep.
for 3 on the small guy.
Okay.
Okay, kill all 3. And then it will be 4 damage on a big guy. That,
And then
and
2
then,
more.
yeah. I
Or
would
you
kill
have one
of
more
the-
one more wound.
Yeah. No. I would kill one of those guys. I should have
Okay.
killed that one before. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3 that are gone.
Yep.
And then one of the
One of the
big
big
guys
guys.
and one of the. Let's see this one. And then one of the others, which actually has to be this. Yeah. Yeah, is it okay? I just take this one because otherwise I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
feeling
Yep. Yep.
Not that I don't expect to lose a few more models.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Fuigan next.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hitting on 3s. Where else am I using it? Yes, I could do Fate this. So this Aeldari reroll hits, 6 hits, and then I'll just plug in a 6 for the last one.
Using the beam attack
So we
here.
get
Okay.
2d3 extra.
Fuigan's
Okay.
so
Um,
well-rounded.
we get
What a
an
Chad.
extra, 4, so 7
Three
total.
more. Mm-hmm.
And then we are strength 8
Mhm.
2s.
Okay, yeah.
The reroll. So those they're AP3 2 damage.
Yeah, I have a 5 bring them.
Yep.
Already one. Okay, 83 2 damage. So 5 guys that I need to do. I will do these 2.
6. You failed 6 saves, yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, Fuigan's so good. Or Fuigan. Fuigan sounds kind
I
of
will do
silly.
it.
I don't know. Fuigan
first
sounds
one
like
to
he's
the guy.
fusioning you.
So 2
But I
guys,
understand
2
Fuigan.
of the 6.
Yep.
Okay, so he's dead, no matter
Yep.
what I roll for the other one.
Yep.
And the next 2. Also dead, and the last one. Also
So 3 dead.
That doesn't matter, I can't really pull it out anyway. Okay.
Okay.
That definitely hurts. What do you do?
Let's do. I guess we do the boat now. So the fusion pistols are out of range, but everything else will just go into them. So
Okay.
the shuriken cannons first on 4s. Reroll. And 3s. The reroll. 2 AP1s, 2 damage.
This is what I say about
I will
like
take it.
technical attacks, chat. The
And then 2 near disruptor.
like you have so many of these little attacks, like if Wake it's shooting 3 shots, it's sustained D3 or 1 big shot, right? So it's like you have a lot of optionality in what you do. It's not a ton of shooting, but it's enough that if you leverage it correctly, you can actually do some serious damage. So like we're almost down on the mutant squad here. We do have the Iconarch in the back. You got to pull that guy before you pull any other mutants. Try to keep him going. But it's getting close. And Jonathan could very well elect to cut out his
And then
deploy teleport Hummer's score to try to kill one of these units, which I think is very valuable to him.
It doesn't matter. I have a 5 again gun on it because I.
Okay.
Okay. So total of these many. Yeah, I basically only have guys that have in one still, so I need to first do it on the big guys and then go forward to the mutants, and we can just roll all of them. Together, so basically 2 big guys and 1 of the non-big guys. Brutal. Let's do this one.
Okay. Yeah, so I would have very much liked to have killed the whole squad. I mean, I still can in theory. The Swooping Hawks will grenade you. How many mortals do you take? 3?
3.
You'll have to roll 2 first because you failed both, and you don't have a fielding thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
yeah. So here. So roll 1d6 on a
No, I will. I will make. Okay. Yeah.
on a 5 or 6. Or how do we do this?
No.
Just
on a 1 or 2, that one was. I mean, I have a chance of rolling 6 and 2 dice. I would just put the first one on the Iconarch and then just roll 2. If you're fine with it. I mean, I rolled a 6 in them. I would basically kill first. Let me roll the first one.
Okay.
Is it fine with you?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it like this. I can't roll 2 6s. I can't roll 2 6s.
Okay.
And let's just see whether I roll 160 or not.
Okay. So then it's just the Demagogue.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So yeah,
one accursed cultist unit down, chat. We knew that the Eldar had the firepower in them. They just had to leverage everything to kill 1 unit, including a Scathach Wraith Knight to kill a bunch of these guys. That's pretty scary.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, back. Alles klar. Viel Spaß beim Klettern. Ja, ich bin einfach nur im Spiel gesandt.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll
I
start
mean, not good
again.
because you killed the whole unit.
That was pretty good. So if we go 2 inches there, and then we
Did you roll a charge?
No. I'm just figuring out what my charge
Okay,
is
so
right now.
whether you want to
shoot
them
you or
or
not.
not.
Yeah. So it's a 4-inch right now, but if I kill 1 guy, it's still a 4-inch. Okay. So
you can
the
pass. So don't you have to go? How big is your base?
No, I moved an inch up and then 3 inches over.
An inch up and then 3 inches over. Oh, okay.
So the Autarch will shoot you. Hits and wounds. AP 4.
Demon save.
Good. Okay. The Avatar will shoot you. Hits and wounds. AP 4.
Demon save.
So just a dead guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just the Night Spinner left. The Night Spinner is gonna go into the Accursed Cultist squad.
Mm-hmm.
We get 6 shots plus how many? 4?
Yeah.
Because there's only 1 dead, yeah. So 10. Fours. We got a hit, so I'm just gonna reroll one of these successes. Unfortunate. Then threes. So no. There's.
What are you?
I don't want to kill
Oh,
anymore.
that was so fast that I'm not really sure what you did. But okay.
Okay.
So
There's.
now we have a problem.
What's that?
My daughter just woke up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
So charges then. So Avatar into Warp Talons. I will plug in a 2, so I can't fail, and then I roll a 2, so 5-inch charge. It's like 2 inches there, and 3 inches. That is all of my charges done. So fighting, we're gonna sweep. So I think it's 12 attacks. Yeah. 2s to hits, to reroll, and we're strength 7, I think. So it's only 3s to wound. Yeah.
Please.
And a reroll. So AP 2, so 5 up saves. So they're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. That is. I guess I could consolidate towards this in theory, but I guess I could technically go that way, but actually I may as
You
well.
can't because you would not go closer to the objective. Huh?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna figure out. So I'm 1.8 right now. So
Mhm.
if I go, let's see. So if I go 2 inches there, and then 1 inch this way, it's 3. I am further. So no, I cannot. Okay. So yeah, he'll just stay there. And I will pass the turn to you. And so I'll get 5 for homers and 5 for no man's land.
Okay.
Oof.
And so I can only revive one guy
That is
over here.
that is a hell of a turn from the Eldar. They got the 5 on homers at the big advance on the Swooping Hawks. And are up by 27 points. Now, obviously, that'll close a little bit, down to 17, but that is a big hill to climb for Cast Space Marines. To be fair, Cast Space Marines have a lot in reserve. So they definitely are going to be scoring higher in the late game. I think that's how we can expect that this matchup is going to play out. Now, the benefit of that Scathach Wraith Knight here, chat, is that if... And what Jonathan wants Curious to do. Oh, are we not? Oh, did we actually push Chaos Space Marines down to a 5-point primary? When did the Accursed Cultists respawn? Is that in the command phase? I thought it was command phase, chat. Can they not respawn and then hold an objective? Start of each player's command phase. Okay.
Xeno spotted.
Interesting. Oh, I guess it's because there's 2 warp spiders on the objective. I see what's happening. I understand. I had missed that, chat. There's 2 warp spiders over there, and they are going to, and they're going to be at least tying the Accursed Cultist that pops on the objective. Okay, wow. Oh, holy crap. I did not expect the Accursed to lose all 3 objectives that turn. That's huge. So a 22-inch deficit now? Or a 22-point deficit now? Deploy Teleport Hammer's Assassination. They did lose the Blue Scribes in turn 1 to the sniper shots, is that right? I believe so. So I don't know what is going to be deploying Teleport Homers here.
Oh, you'll let the battle shock.
Could be a...
I'm not even sure what that was.
I don't know, a chosen unit, but I don't think that's really what you want to be spending your chosen units on. Cult Demagogue Battle Shocks, because his unit is down to 1 out of 4, because it does start as a multi-model unit, or out of 5, excuse me. Yeah, that was an insane turn from Jonathan here. Warp Talon's pushing forward. Do we see a cheeky Death Jester Overwatch just to peel some of them? You could also do it from Fuegan, I guess. He could shoot a beam shot, lock in a 6 for sustained D3, and get a minimum of 2 hits. With that wound on 2s and force invulns. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of 40k to play, chat. This is only round 2.
So the 3-shot profile.
And there's
so
like
first one,
700 points of Chaos Space Marines off the board.
misses. I guess I'll Eldar reroll it. It's okay. That's fantastic. Next one misses, and then the last one I'll use a 6.
Yeah.
So we get an extra 2d3 shots.
Oof.
Or actually, no, sorry, I can't use a reroll. In Trevi's thing. So just 1/6 then
What?
from the fate
You
dice.
can't. Okay.
No.
So then
You
plus
can't.
D3.
You can't use your hidden. Yeah. So just plus D3. So.
Yeah, it's a selection.
Because it's not a shooting attack or what?
It's because you don't select them to shoot. I think. I don't.
Yeah, no. It's the same
Wait,
thing for. He ruled that also with like an Overwatch start pack doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, it's because just for clarification, selection to shoot is a shooting phase rule. So when you're firing Overwatch, because it is an out of phase, it's an out of phase action, so you don't use the other rules that are triggered during that phase. So you don't use any selection rules, because the selection rules are during the shooting phase you can select a unit to shoot, and then you shoot with them. And there are separate rules for selecting units to shoot and shooting with them. So Overwatch skips that first section.
Yeah, not from the wall. So it's fine. Okay, that's
not.
And then I advance.
Okay.
I can go another 8, 9, 15 with the Master of Possession.
Yep.
So the dangerous thing for Carius here is that his remaining units are kind of high value. And again, we have these like high damage, sort of technical profiles on the Aeldari side, and that's exactly what they want to be shooting at. 2 converted attacks from Fuegan or the Death Jester kill a Chosen, and that's not very not a long way to go. It's a fine line they're treading between life and death against these units.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
far do
So
they go?
that guy won't be able to go there, right? It's not wholly within
Why not?
3.
Yeah.
So I can go like back
We
there.
can just flip it over here and then that's more than enough space for him.
Yeah. There you go. Cool.
Okay, now advance. 5, so the Master of Possession can go 14. Easily you can go next to this thing.
Yep.
And then the other one is for the over here. They move 6 plus 5, 11 plus 1 is 12.
Sure.
Or is move from back there. I can't see anyone unit. That's fine. Okay, yeah. And 2 more talents. Okay. That is this. And you lead me out before because I didn't want to get shot by the knight. We don't have that problem now.
Ooh, making the push. Are we going for a charge, the Obliterators? That would be huge if they made it here.
Can you give me the 9 inches?
Yeah.
What is he doing there?
I'm using him as my 9-inch bubble.
Ah,
Because
okay.
it doesn't work from the Night Spinner, so it's
Ah,
not
okay.
basically.
And Night Spinner's got that weird irregular thing.
I'm actually not even
It's
sure
not the
if
end of my
it's-
movement yet.
Yeah, you're fine.
And they fit pretty easily. I can go all the way.
No, because that's
Okay,
within 9
or-
of the Warp Spider.
No, no.
Or actually, no,
No, no.
the Warp Spider's
The
there,
pink
so-
the pink thing is going
Yeah.
here. So
But
this one
these guys
here
are
is
on
also
top of
not-
one another still.
Yeah. I need to readjust. I still need to check for line of sight that I have and not have, and what I want it to be. I think I would like to have 2 guys. Can you give me the 9 inches from the desk chest for that one?
Well, this is
within
going to
9
be more restrictive there.
Oh yeah, whatever the restriction down here.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
Sweeping Hawk there.
Okay, great. So this is the furthest over there.
No, it's like that.
Ooh, this is so tight.
And then this one.
Looks
here.
like they have space. They have a little place to play.
So move around, so these 3 can definitely see the desk
Well,
chest.
you're on top of one another there.
Oh.
Your bases
Yeah.
are
Well,
overlapping.
it's unfortunate. The Obliterators look like they have a messed up collider here, so they're gonna have some trouble. A little bit of trouble.
And this.
Yep.
And this
Keep in
guy
mind, the
over
Death
here.
Jester is blown up, so like the back guy can't
Okay.
even shoot him. I don't think either of them can shoot him actually.
It's a phantasm to
Might
consider
be
here
able
too.
to because the 9 would be also. Yeah.
Why
Can I
doesn't
measure
scripting
them?
work on the Death Jester? That's annoying.
2 inches.
I mean,
It's a 50 mil right there.
Yes, that's 12 there. I don't think there's going to be a way for you to get it without coming to within 9 of something.
I mean that is
Because even right there, right now, you're within 9 of the Hawks.
yeah. I mean, I'm also with these guys within call, so I don't really believe. Okay, so yeah. Alles klar. Danke. Okay, Reagan is not long enough. Huh?
Oh, I
No,
gotcha.
No.
The old version had them upsized by accident. Yeah, it's a common
So
problem.
these will be then.
Yep, they're on 50s. 50 is like 1.96 inches, and they're just about 2.
Yeah, ich kümmere mich drum. Das ist in Ordnung. Ja. Tut mir leid. Okay. Don't want you to come in here. Please. That's not come. Okay, I called them up. We'll just move 6 inches
Uh-huh.
over here. That allows me to move the line.
Uh,
Let's go on the corner.
so-
Is that possible?
well, sorry, what?
Let's just see. I'm not used to moving vehicles because my vehicle usually don't move. They were here in the corner.
Vehicle usually stays there and hangs
Just
out forever.
Drive straight. 8 inches. I can move 12. So I should be able to. Okay, so this is a 1 inch down. And I move.
Mm-hmm.
6, 7, and then it's a 1 inch turn. And I move another.
You'll need to put the model down, yeah.
Yeah. And
So you're
then
at 8 inches
another-
right now. Or at 9 inches, sorry.
Yeah. And then I just move around here and turn a little bit more. So this should be easily possible with 3 inches.
Inkies. Pressing
I would
buttons
like
on my
this.
keyboard today.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Close enough.
And then I put them down. And he's within, not within 12 of these guys, but within 12 of these guys.
Mhm.
And you're on the thing, and that's
Yep,
fine.
yep.
So Demagogue screens out, that's also fine. These guys are only able to move. I would just
Yeah, it's right up
put
there
the
with
mind
Dog Ate
switch
My
on the
Homework,
other
chat.
side. Where's my Demagogue?
It was my cat.
Where's
She
my
slept
Demagogue?
on my keyboard, I swear.
So they would just be over here. Let's see if I can shoot. I should. Oh, actually, let me just roll my dark pack from last time. Okay, that was fine. Because if I would have lost 2 more models, then maybe you would have not needed to grenade. Okay.
Oh, I see.
This is my movement. I still have the 2 fortunes that want to come in. And let me see whether there is enough space to come in somewhere somehow. It's screened out pretty well. Could come in over here and shoot into the avatar. The avatar is not -1 to wound at least. Right now, nothing possible over here. Yeah, I think I will just bring in 1 of the fortunes.
Nice
Will
limited
be another one.
deep strike here. Keeping another one for an ingress. Gonna keep that Scatha Wraith Knight honest. Inky will not rest until she stands on my keyboard today.
Need to be quite far back. Why I stay this stupid thing here? What does that give us? This lava thing apart from making the movement of all its harder. I think I will turn it. Just put it down. So this is just fine. Yeah, good enough for me. So you can not rapid ingress anything. No, you can rapid ingress Hawks if you want to.
Everything's on the board.
What is with these Hawks?
Those are troops.
I
They're
know that's the transport. Transport.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
done your movement.
Phase. Yep.
Okay. I don't think it really makes sense to do the warp spiders because I think they're dead no matter what. Could phantasm the hawks, but you're probably just doing the no line of sight shooting anyways, so phantasm the death chester, maybe. Also phantasm Fuegan behind the wall. That actually might be the best option.
I gotta be worried about those shots from the Masters of Possession. Like we talked about at the start of the video, the MOPs are insanely dangerous for these characters.
So he'll just go to here, I guess. Like that. Yeah, you can also no line of sight him too, but I mean, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about that. So yeah, he'll go there. Okay, I'm at a CP.
To stay completely out of CP.
Yep.
Always good to hear. Okay, then shooting. We start with the Fortune into your avatar.
Sure.
I will do exploding fire.
Okay.
And I
Are
will
you overcharging?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
3-3. Wow. What's up? Hitting on 3, 5 explode.
Yep, so 4 hits.
And then 5 and 6s.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay.
And then let me see how much damage myself. Nothing.
Yeah, so that's the Nurgle Forge Fiend against the Avatar. That's a little surprising we went for the Nurgle one. Because that dude is
okay. So these guys
not the greatest combatant. The Undivided Forge Fiend is definitely scarier for that guy.
Yeah, we'll do shoot the Mind Witch into the Warp Spiders.
Okay.
Because it didn't allow me to advance.
Yeah. Are you dark pacting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And are you using the hazardous profile?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 5s and 6s are actually explosions.
Yep.
And each of them explodes by sustain 2, I think.
Twice, yeah.
Okay. So that's 4 more hits. And that will be hitting on 3s or 4.
Wouldn't on
Three.
3s. Strength 5.
3s to hit, and then winning on 3s. No. Yeah, I already hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And then
4 at -1.
AP 1, but I'm getting
-1,
cover, so
2 damage.
3 ups.
You're getting cover with, yeah.
Yeah, because this guy
Yeah.
and all these guys can't see me. So, but you still kill 3. So, we'll just pull these guys, I guess. Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay. So then, the first unit of clothing will put everything into this, apart from my mark of possession, that will go into the destructor.
Okay.
So the mark of possession will poke his friend.
So, are you dark pacting and stuff like that?
Yeah. So wait a second. I first need to roll my dark pact. I will always dark pact unless I'm down to 1 wound or something like this.
Okay.
So the dark pact for the dark coming.
Yep.
Failed, but I have an icon, so I can reroll. So good.
Okay.
And then I will dark pact for extra hits on 6s. And do I get the fielder poking of my own guy? Yes, I do. So 1 goes by a wound.
Okay.
And then the master possession hits on 2s, and 2 to the strength 6 weapon with +1 to wound.
Yep.
And he automatically rerolls once to wound, once to hit because of being undivided.
Yep.
2, rerolling 1. Please roll all of them. Okay, and then a wounding on 3.
Yep.
2 on the destructor. Times 3.
Yeah, just 4 up invulns. So first fails. I'll use my face messenger to just auto pass it. Then
You can do that every single turn or only once per battle round?
It's every turn.
Okay.
And I fail the next one, 3 damage.
Yeah.
So he's down to 1.
And then, okay. And then I have 4 zombie weapon shots into you. Reroll the 1. 6 is explode. And then 4 up for mortals.
Yeah, so just
2 mortals.
2. Okay, XX down to 1.
And then the plasma pistol doesn't hit. It's only 1 plasma pistol.
Yeah.
Again, and so I can't shoot him anymore, but I called another can still shoot him.
You'll just need to roll a dark pact for them as well.
Oh, yeah. And I also need to do the hazardous check for my possession first dark pact. Okay.
Special possession do roll so many times for damage of their own units. They have their own damage, their hazardous check, and their dark pact check.
There is this unit done here. No, I have a second pistol because there was still a guy over here now.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, so I still have like 1 more plasma pistol and then the 2 bolt gun shots. So the plasma pistol hits, plasma pistol wounds, and
He's dead.
okay, that's good. And the last bolt gun shots go away. So then master possession, the second one shoots into the death cluster. Everything else shoots into the troop unit.
Hawks?
And the hawk.
Okay.
And then it will be again. I don't feel the pain. I feel the pain. It was fine.
Yeah. Or sorry,
Oh,
it was this squad that shot first, right?
No, I just put the wound on the wrong guy. This guy here, this guy's shot because they have 1 more plasma pistol. The other one has 1 less plasma pistol because he wouldn't be able to draw line of sight. And then so it will be again hitting on 2s, rerolling 1.
Yep.
Reroll the 1. Oh, maybe I should have put more guns into him.
I mean, you can't.
No, nobody else can see him because they are behind the bullet. Yeah. And then, of course,
Just 1.
1 4.
I'll just use a 4.
Wait a second. You already used the fate dice on him. You can do as many for the
No,
fate dice
I
as you
know
want.
I used face messenger. I can fake dice and
Okay,
transmissive.
so I think I have 2 CP. I will spend this
Okay,
CP.
so then
to
I'm not
reroll
going to use the fake dice yet.
one. Yeah. Okay, so it's 2 wounds.
Okay.
So you first roll the first one, and then you see.
Trevi, can you
What?
CP reroll if you fast roll?
Okay, yeah.
It depends on the. This is for hit rolls and wound rolls.
This is a wound roll, yeah.
Yeah. You can fast roll on
Okay.
attacks. It's just saving throws and
Okay.
damage that's applied sequentially.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So 4 up invuln. We're good, and then okay, so now I'll use the 4. So he's
Okay.
alive.
Okay, that's annoying.
And also a little bit of a weird idiosyncrasy.
and-
The rules actually
No. The
specify
obliterators can't
that
shoot him. Yeah.
slow dice
They
is only
cannot.
required for
Yeah, I know
rolls
exactly.
on
There was
multi-damage
something
weapons.
You still got all your other stuff into the Hawks.
If you have
Yeah.
single damage
Yeah.
weapons, fast dice is actually allowed. Pretty
Cool.
weird. Or static damage weapons, I should say.
Combi
Flat
weapon
damage.
shot. We roll the 1. Okay, 1 stays in because of the 6. And then. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful TTS. And then
Wonderful TTS.
2 plasma pistols. 1 hit. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then there'd be 2 bolt pistols, 2 bolt guns, and the psychic weapon of the master possession is a pistol. And he has a bolt pistol, so he can shoot both pistols. That's 3 hits. 1 wound. Oh, that is crazy good shooting.
That was not great. We're good.
Okay, good. Then the rhino. Shoots also into them.
Yep.
First, so rhino explodes. Wait a second. First dark pack for that second unit.
Yep.
Good. And the hazardous. Reach myself.
Eldar in a nutshell, for
Oh
sure.
no, I will roll. 3
It's always
hits.
just like the million random attacks.
Oh yeah.
Like the
I'm
real
leading
million
the
random
unit,
like dice
I'm only
fixing.
taking
You're never
1
sure
so
if anything's
far,
gonna
and,
happen. You're pretty sure it's not gonna happen.
taking 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the rhino.
Mm-hmm.
The harvest. For that's actually 4 hits.
Okay.
Because it's Nurgle and
Yep.
extra hits
Yep.
on 5. And then force for mortal wounds, so 2 mortal wounds.
She's back, chat.
Or devastating
Our
wounds.
queen has returned.
And then the normal bolter,
Thank you.
again 4 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm wounding you on 3s.
3s, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 3. No
Uh,
minus.
just cover saves, so 3 ups. Okay.
Yeah, no minus, it doesn't matter. And then
They're
D6
4 up
over-
saves, so it does matter.
Okay. I thought that aspect always would be. But
not all
D6
of
plus 1 for blast. I think they have blast.
Yep.
And another 3s.
Yep.
1. And wounding on
Not
not
that.
that. Okay, so that's like 1, 2, 3 wounds left. Okay. Okie dokie. So this one shot, these shot. Basically, the obliterators are the ones that don't shoot. I have not yet shot.
Mm-hmm.
So these 2 will shoot into your Swooning Hawks. And these 2, so I will have to pop the indirect, no matter what. So that is both within 12, but then I don't have a meaningful charge anymore. So 12 is not possible even as a charge. This one would be possible if I'm not going in there. I think I am okay with that. So these 2 shoot into that Night Spinner.
Mhm.
Or anyhow shooting indirect. Night Spinner has 12 wounds.
Yep.
And 3 plus 5 plus.
No, just 3 plus save. No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Yeah, I will shoot 2 of them into the swooping hawks. 1 of them into these 3 swooping hawks.
Okay.
I think I should not get greedy. Then 1 will just by luck. So everybody will be the medium profile apart from the 1 into the night spinner.
Okay.
And I still owe you the morale check for the Rhino.
Oh, the Dark Pact, yeah.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
And so then these 3 shots for the guy into the... and I will spend 1 CP to get 4 reloads. Hit and roll.
Sure. Yeah.
I should have...
And are you
Okay,
Dark Pacting for
these
extra
two.
hits?
Yeah. Dark Pacting for extra.
Okay.
Okay, so fortunately only 1 shot. And I can reroll.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's actually not a hit anymore. Okay.
No.
Good. Then the D6 into the 3 remaining hawks. 2.
Sorry, you said the medium profile. Oh,
Medium
the
profile. It's D6 plus.
D6. Yeah.
So 2 hits.
Hitting on 4s, right? 'Cause-
Split fire is the
yeah.
only way to beat
I
you.
know it. Yeah. Thank
Real
you.
men split fire.
Only 1 hit.
and 2s.
Okay. 1 wound, -2 goes to -1 because of cover, so 5
So
up.
just 5 ups.
Mhm.
1 more dies. I guess I'll pull this guy.
Let's go. Great. And then the 2d6 plus 2 into the unit in the back.
Yep.
And that's 6, 8.
And you can see them, so
Okay, yeah, that's on 3.
Yep.
Alright. 3 hits.
Tau split fire
Okay.
all the time, chat. I see Tau split fire
That gets better. So
constantly.
2 explosions.
Tau's
Yep.
probably split fire more than any other faction. Even though they're disincentivized for doing it, they have so many guns in the unit that they have to.
And 2 rerolling everything. This many? -2? No.
they're dead.
Yeah, so let it. Okay. So I have a 9-inch charge that I could do over here, but I think it's better to try that one over there. These guys here have a...
TLDR Tau kind of bad. Yeah, they're not great right now. It's true.
Okay.
How far the
I
mighty
think
have
that's
fallen,
all
by
my
the way?
shooting. So the first unit, the
'Cause
one
they
in
were-
the back here.
Mhm.
No, first this unit here.
For a hot
So,
minute,
charge
it feels
into
like not
both
too long
the
ago they were
Superhawk
considered one
and
of the top factions.
Star Weaver.
Sure.
And then I think people just
And
figured
they
out how to
go
deal.
Distance 7, 8.
Mhm.
So he will go all the way. Okay, see up here.
You can't. Yeah, you can't move through me. But yes.
This.
Close enough. Yeah.
Too hard on ghost kills and markers? I mean, maybe. I think breacher spam is the way of the future, for sure, because it gives you a front line, but it's not a good front line. They're good traders, but they don't hold objectives well is the issue. Yeah, and then bring it down being an issue. Yeah. Maybe there's a universe where monsters and vehicles below 7 don't count for bring it down. I think that would be interesting. Because right now it feels like I guess you get into like weird Star Weaver Venom spam kind of stuff, but like, or maybe bring it down should count units, so you have to finish them off or something. I don't know. There's solutions to it. I think it is too punishing for Tau, in my opinion, though. Boogeyman and teams. Yeah, they have random... They're random, like, meta solvers, which I appreciate. Like, let me tell you, if there's one faction in the game that can kill these accursed cultist bricks, it's freaking Tau. A cyclic Ion Blaster unit cares not for 20 accursed cultists, or 16 accursed cultists. They'll just burn that unit to the ground.
Fine.
Vehicles below 10 could be 1. Yeah, I don't know if that changes it, though, to be fair, right? It might. I guess you're less incentivized to play like 18
No worries.
battle suits and lean into it at that point.
Still lagging. this guy here will base here.
Mhm.
Here.
So this mission, usually it's just the mission in which both players score like max primary. But it looks like we might be in a situation where neither player is going to be scoring a 10-point primary, or each player will have prevented the other one from scoring a 10-point primary at some point.
No, it's not. And I will need to
I guess the question mark is this charge here, whether the mutant gets into the avatar to steal the objective away and lock it in against the Forge Fiend.
Can only go into here. Yeah, and then we have these guys. Okay, my Warp Talents will...
Both chosen committed for a Star Weaver. Yeah, I think that Kyrios has recognized that he's not going to win the game by being cagey, because Eldar have board control right now, right? So he needs to push super far forward, and he can put 3 units on this objective, and then hope his opponent doesn't have the beef to kill all 3 of them. And whatever lives can probably clean up. I think Eldar probably do, but they don't have enough to deal with that and the Obliterators, I think. The Wraith Knight might go try to deal with the Obliterators, assuming it stays on the table. It might pop. Yeah, you just have to remove pieces from the Eldar army for sure. Like, Eldar will fall apart. Their stuff ends up being expensive in the late game, and they'll fall apart if you kill enough of it early. But you always have to trade down into them because they're so much more flexible than you are.
At least try to. Oh. Okay, now it's all falling apart. Okay, good. So then over here, chosen into
Oh,
so
flub
the 3
the
guys that have to
charge.
go into the Falcon will go into the Falcon.
Oh,
Everybody else. will
There you
go.
go. The Avatar
Starter.
scores a 10er.
Sure.
Will again poke myself.
Mhm.
And I will feel the pain.
It's on this guy here.
Thanks. And then I have 4 attacks.
And Dark Tactic for explosions.
Yeah, the
Oh,
problem
wait a
is,
second. Oh, okay.
I think that,
Spend the CP for-
yeah, Kyrios was a little cagey with the Rhino. It's too big to move through this gap, so it can only move around the corner. And he hit it behind the wall. So, he was worried it would just get lit up by Fuegan if Eldar went first, which probably would have happened.
Reroll the charge over here. Because
Oh,
I thought I had
this-
spent
oh,
my
yes.
CP
Yeah, yeah,
already
yeah.
here
Yep.
to be
Yep.
able to have full rerolls, but that
Yep.
is more important.
No, yeah, you're good. There you go.
Yeah, you don't need to to profane seal to kill a Star Weaver with 10 chosen. I think we got it, bro. What are we doing here, my guy?
That should be fine.
He can't end on top of the wall, right?
Yeah, no, just that. Oh, I'm really on top.
It's all the way up there.
He should be able to go there.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to move for it. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. Okay. This guy here. And get over there. This guy here moves. And two base here. These guys move 10. Over here. This one here move. And then over here. This one moves 10. Over here. This one moves 10. I'll actually hold him back. A second. And first move these guys up.
I'll pump the player mics a little bit here. A little quiet.
10 inches.
This is some ASMR 40k today. Hope everyone's having a good Friday evening, by the way.
Across the wall.
Is anybody working on stuff? I know we had some 3D printing going on in the background. Anybody got some painting to do? Get some prep to do for this weekend. I have Everwinter in 7 days now. Very excited about it. Starting next Friday. We're going to be streaming Saturday and Sunday if you're around and interested. It's going to be over on the YouTube.
Okay.
So this is the point at which I think you're probably less worried about the precision stuff. You can't let the characters get line of sight to you because they'll epic duel the demagogue, but the Death Jester has other things to think about, I think.
Over here. You can move the other side as well. Oh, wait a second. This guy here. There's not move over there. Nice. And then this one here.
Death Guard Vindicators.
Okay.
That sounds rad.
Yeah, you can't interrupt. So I already dealt the wound over there.
Yep.
And then I have 4 attacks. Hitting on
Master
2,
possessions.
rolling 1. Exactly.
Yep.
I guess, like, they probably worry that Plague Burst Crawlers overlap too much, I guess.
And then
You're
will
wounding
be
on
strength
5s.
6 against. No,
Or
strength
you,
6
you're
against
plus
T6.
1 to wound right now?
Yeah, plus 1 to wound with strength 6.
So then just force to wound, because I'm minus 1 to wound, and I'm T6.
Okay. So, and I think this is stuff. I mean, it was before that it was strength 7, but I think it's only strength 6 now.
Yeah, it's just strength 6. Yeah.
Okay, good. Right. So, 4.
Force.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
one.
that minus 1 to wound. Yeah.
And he's D3 damage?
D3 damage.
Okay. I'll just use a
3 Plague Burst
4 on
Crawlers, 3
this, so
Vindicators, 3
it's not a
Brigands.
pass.
Okay, good. So that's your fate dice for this phase.
Yep.
Okay, and then 4 attacks with the power fist.
What about Predators,
Mhm.
though? What about Blight Drones?
Are you other one?
The Brigands are probably better.
Okay.
Brigands are just so well-rounded, it's crazy.
Wounding on 3s normally with minus 1 to wound on 4.
Yep.
I don't understand TDS.
So 1.
Okay, so
4 up. Take 2.
mhm. 2. Okay, and then the one little guy.
Yep.
On 3s, rolling 1. Yeah, of course. It's on 1. Okay. And then
6
it
is
will
to
be
wound.
5s normally. 6, yeah. Nothing?
Okay.
I mean, having the rerolls there would have been nice.
Yeah. I'll just pick
Okay.
up Hawks for the rest. Like, there's no
Okay,
way that
yeah.
the Hawks survive that. So.
Okay, good. Then over here,
Starweaver
basically
lives?
this guy moves
I spoke too
oh.
soon, chat.
3 inches
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Give the Avatar a
So that you
little
can't
rap,
fall back.
so
without
you'd have to
That's
take
a
it
breakout.
breakout, yep.
this one moves over here. This one moves over here. This one makes space over there. Get them base to base.
Yep.
And then the more interesting ones will be this one. I think he can move 3 inches. He was on the inside, no? He could move 3
No, I
inches over
I think he
here.
had them get there.
Yeah, no. The other guy, this guy here, that was the one
Oh.
that made it on the inside, and I just moved him as much.
Yep.
around
Yeah,
as
some
possible
stuff
so
split
that
into the
this one for sure
the
can
swooping hawk squad that was
in.
there. And to be
This one
fair,
here
these are masters of
will not
possession,
be
so
able
they're
to
not quite chaos lords, but it is still pretty wild.
The other side here. And so
I don't believe we
one
ritualed
is
this turn because we couldn't
there,
advance, but we'll
Going
see
around
what
with
they
this
roll
one over here,
on the Accursed
this
Cultist.
one over here, and then this one with 3 inches would be able to
That's their ability
just
to advance and charge and get +1 to hit and wound.
within an inch as well.
I think we're just gonna try
These
to
guys here
lock up the Avatar
will
rather
not be
than kill
able to
him.
get anywhere meaningful. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So
You'll just have to shuffle her over. I don't know why
Shuffle.
the measurement's not working, but yeah, you're good.
yeah. So
Yep.
okay, and then
yeah,
okay.
you're good there now. Yeah.
I
no,
mean,
you're
this
good.
one can also shuffle over there.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, your guys surrounded, and I am
Yep.
having all the big guys apart from one bigger, then 2 of the blessed blades, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the other ones in contact. Okay.
Yeah.
But it will not really matter because I'm only one. Okay, so big guys. Ooh, they really want to hurt you.
Oh
So
my
here I
god.
will use lethal hits. Of
Look at
course.
that attack
It,
volume.
makes a lot more sense.
Hot
So
diggity
that's
damn.
27 plus 12 is 39.
Plus 10.
Yeah. Oh, plus
10.
10. Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of habit.
Yep.
27, so
So
37. So this is 30, 37.
Time might become a little bit of an issue here.
And I'll wound you
Barry has
on
down to
hit
25
on
minutes.
force because we'll auto
Yep.
wound.
This is the big go turn, but he has to be able to
Okay, and then we have
execute
this many.
on the future.
And we're fishing for more. We're looking for more. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, decent effort.
AP
-1.
-1, so I take 2.
Yeah. And then I
12.
have 2, 3, 4. Of the blessed blade attacks. And can you just check how many of the small mutants are again in?
You have
said it
4
before,
small mutants in.
Small mutants, okay. So 2 blessed blades hit and 2 wounds, -2 each.
So 4s, take another one.
Okay, and then you said 4 guys, so that's a total
Yep.
of 8 attacks. And then 4 6s stay in, and then these 2 6s. Nothing. Okay.
And
Good.
just
Then
dark path
over
test.
here.
Oh, you'll
Oh,
need
yeah.
a dark path test there and there. Yeah.
Yeah. So first dark patch for the chosen.
Mhm.
They're good.
Good.
And then for the accursed, that was
They're
good.
loving it.
Then over here, all of
Yep.
them are basically in position. I can't really move anywhere.
Yep.
So with your stupid fate dice, Death Chester didn't die.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So I will poke myself to I will first. So everybody has to go into the Star Reaver. So
Oh, we
first
only
just,
we haven't
power
swung with the
fist
second unit here. It looks like.
on 3s, rerolling ones,
All right,
Mhm.
fair enough.
and again exploding.
Yeah.
And then you're -1 to wound.
Yeah. So
Is
4.
it okay if I say we'll go for auto wounds on 6?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because
Yeah.
with -1 to 6,
Yep.
the others go down to 6 to wound. Better than
No
4.
wounds.
Actually nothing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
shocked there.
okay.
That felt like a
Oh.
dramatic underperformance.
Normal guys without rerolls to wound.
Mhm.
Hitting on 3. And then deleting these. And these can power them again. What am I doing? Okay.
3.
3.
Take 2.
2 more.
So down to 2.
Then the guy with the double claw, so he rerolls the wound. 1 auto hit. Wait, and then 1 can reroll. Another one most likely. I don't know, that's another hit. Then these 2 are looking for 6s now, and I can reroll them. Okay, so I'll drop this one. Okay,
Take 1.
so
Another 1.
1. Okay. Yeah, I will poke myself. I feel the pain. Can you put it down?
Yep.
On the guy. And then hitting on 2, 3 rolling ones. Which is for auto wound. Okay, and then 3 more. Wounding on
4s.
4.
3.
3.
4 ups. We die. Do we explode?
There it goes. All
That
right,
would have been very
chat.
bad.
Yeah, the explosion
on
would have killed the
me.
Death Chester. Oh boy.
We'll jump on out.
from the Harlequin players. The players are they're pretty solid in this fight. They do have those D3 damage
there.
fusion pistols, which are good into Chosen,
We can do something like
and then
that.
a bunch of
Yep.
kind of mediocre melee
you
attacks,
can't.
but those
You
are
can't
good
do
for.
it.
From the wing.
Take one too.
From the wing. Okay.
Measures from Hull, because it is not a walker. How many wins the Avatar lose? 2, I believe was the final number. Sorry, 3.
And then
Took 1 from the little guys.
actually, there's probably a better to guys. This guy can get out there. This guy can get out there. He can get... So, 5 guys. How many die?
Forge
One
Fiend blanked it,
does.
yeah. It was the Nurgle Forge Fiend, so it didn't get Dark or Profane Zeal. So it didn't have good rerolls and just sort of blanked out its hits.
Consolidate if you wish.
And I can consolidate. So I would need to base you at that moment. You are -1 damage, -1 AP on your weapon, single damage.
The lead has -2 on his.
Yeah, but you can't fall back and
No, never mind. Still
start
-1.
with more than 1 unit.
Yeah, no.
So,
But these guys all have pistols, so.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely will go in.
Okay.
1, 2. I should have really not been greedy with. Yeah, okay, then let's do it. 2. There's no warp talents.
I don't think you
Let's just charge the transport.
fit through there. No, you can't fit through that gap. Oh, no, wait, you can move over your war towns. Yeah.
Yeah.
10th edition.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know? That's the one thing that is actually good about combat. Okay.
10th
Just
edition.
wanted to make sure that. No, I would not be like this.
So touching into the Harlequins is going to give them a charge, or give them a swing, but they are better at fighting when they charge.
Yeah,
Plus 1 to wound on the charge.
and this one will
So
still
this
be
is
within range, but,
not the ideal situation for them, but they are probably good for a Chosen, I think.
still possible, yeah.
We'll see how much damage they get in there.
So I'll just start.
Yeah, I think he failed with the Obliterators, unfortunately, chat. Yeah, that's why they set up to try to go to the objective, but it was kind of it was a big ask. You're looking for just a raw dog 9 out of Deep Strike, and he ended up using the reroll over here on his CP to get those guys in because that was a big charge too.
D4.
Yeah. So 2 wounds, no AP.
Okay.
Good. And then we got these guys. So the leader has 5 attacks. I think.
League player shows here only has 4 attacks.
He should have an Aeldari power sword. I might have just done the battle scribe wrong. Let me just check what I put on the list. Yeah, I gave him a Aeldari power sword. So yeah, so it's 5 attack. Hitting on 3s with a reroll. And then strength 4, so 4s with the reroll. And these are AP 2, 1 damage.
Maybe 2.
Yep. Okay. And we got 3 guys with just standard weapons, so 12 attacks. And I've used all my rerolls, so 3s, 4s, and these are AP 1.
The power sword profile rules. 5 attacks on a unit champion is real strong.
Should have maybe checked first how many I can get on the objective for 2 more.
Okay. And then the avatar just sweeps.
Got 2. chosen with that swing?
So
Yes.
2s, 3s. So 8.
Right. That's
Yep, and they're 2 damage
Right.
each.
yeah. Let me just slightly check. I can take 1, 2, 3, 4 of the smaller guys. 5 of the smaller guys. Okay. Take it all on small guys. We were successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 die.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Okay. And then your turn.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are putting the players in their lists right now to give them a little bit of a fast edge. It's a relatively cheap trading unit. I've never seen them or I've never played against them and been like, oh wow, this unit's bad. Ooh, Assassination does not tick for Chaos Space Marines. He scored no secondaries. What was the other secondary draw? Deploy. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Another 0 secondary turn for CSM? I don't... Is that recoverable at that point? I don't know if you can score 5 points in 2 rounds against a player that has as much board control as Jonathan does. Although, to be fair, he is significantly weakened, and there is still a Forge Fiend in the chamber.
Actually, I guess he could even just tow onto this terrain. Hey, Trevor, do you want to confirm that there is like a little lip for him to touch?
Yeah,
There?
he can. Yeah, he can touch.
Okay.
And
Okay.
draw line of sight.
Cool. So he probably just does that. So I don't think I need to pick him up. Well, if he's there, he's not with a 12 though. Do the obliterators have invuln 5 up, right?
Yes. 5.
Okay. Maybe we just don't even need to pick him up. I think we just leave him on the board. Yeah. He'll just stay.
Interestingly, I think
so.
the Forge Fiends are so dangerous, but I don't think they're
Yeah, so we
dangerous
get an
enough to
extra
kill
CP.
a whole Wraith Knight to do the full 18 to it. And especially since a lot of your opponent's focus is being drawn by the Avatar right now. I think that Jonathan can play a little fast and loose with the Scathach this turn and know that he probably has a counter punch to the Undivided Forge Fiend if it comes for him. That is the scariest one, to be
Let
fair.
me just do this before we.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah. So what's my tempting target? Let me guess. The one with the cultists on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I need to roll Battle Shock for the Death Jester.
Mhm.
He's okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, and you have 2 CPS because you discarded an objective. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So movement phase then. I think there's. Oh, I have to do Fortune. I guess we just do Fortune on the Night Spirit at this point. Me too.
Okay.
So -1. Okay. So movement phase. Okay. So the Death Jester is gonna fall back. Can't get outside of Overwatch range that way. Actually, I don't even know if you do Overwatch me. Might not be the best. Well, I mean, you do have Assassinate, so I guess it would be the worst use of CP ever. So I think we just go like this way. Actually, oh no, we can get outside of 12 there, I think. If he goes there, We are outside of 12. So yeah. So he'll fall back to there.
Mhm.
We'll do Fuegan. So he can go 4 inches there. 2 inches to here is 6. And then 1 inch is 7. Okay. Troops are just going to stay melee. The Rangers will come on out. Like so. Alright. Where is the Autarch? Could if I fire and fade him, but that doesn't really feel like a great use of my CP. He could just go into them. Actually gonna back Fuegan up a touch here and just make sure he's within 9 of the blitz. Yeah, okay. So the
Fuegan,
Wraith
okay.
Knights. So if he goes 4 inches here, then 2 inches here is 6. And then he can do another 4. That. Oh, 12's like here, so yeah. 4 there. And he has plenty of options.
Yeah, I will overwatch you here.
You're ever watching them? Okay.
The 2 of them will be in murder range.
Sure.
2 of them will not. I think it's the wrong choice, but the 2 not within murder range.
I think it's the wrong choice.
Okay. 3 shots.
But let's shoot our guns, chat. Pew pew pew.
I'm not able to duck.
No.
That's so weird. Okay, so 1.
Yep.
And then
On a 4.
the T. Oh,
T12.
okay. I could definitely not have done that. So the 2 in 12.
Yep.
And then. Yeah, no. Definitely not worth it.
Alrighty. The Farseer will come up here and touch the terrain so she can see obliterators. The
What
Night
is
Spinner.
No weapon?
It's just
Isn't it-
Eldritch Storm and a spear.
Okay.
The Night Spinner will stick his little toe out of the terrain so he can see you.
Okay, yeah.
Guns away, boys. Everybody blast the obliterators.
Could put him into the Forge Fiend.
A cheeky charge on the Forge Fiend is funny there because then it can't shoot him because it's firing blast weapons. So it actually would force, I think, the Curse Cultists to fall back and charge. Although that's probably what they're going to do anyway so they don't get an additional hit off the Avatar before they get to swing. That's close. Yeah, I'm going to give ourselves a 1-inch bubble there, my dude.
Okay, so he can get melt range, so he'll do that. He'll go 14 to there. Okay. So that is the end of the movement phase. So shooting then, unless you want to ingress or something.
Oh.
Okay.
I already
So-
wasted the CP.
Okay.
beforehand.
All right. Yeah. So let's start with the troops. Will just shoot everything in melee. So 2
Okay,
fusion
yeah.
pistols. Both hits and 2s with a reroll. 2 wounds. These are AP4, so I think they just go through.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and they're D3
Oh,
plus
first
2,
one?
so first is 3, next is 3.
Second. Okay. Okay, okay. First one.
Dead.
Of course. Second one.
It's also dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Okay. And then we just have 2 neurodisruptors. Or actually, wait, no, sorry, it's not 2 neurodisruptors.
2
it's
nerd
a shuriken pistol and a
disruptors.
neurodisruptor. So I'll just say I think it's better if. I mean, I have an Eldar, so let's see if it hits, and then if I don't need to worry. Okay, so they both hit, so it doesn't matter. So the neurodisruptor wounds on a 2, it does, and the shuriken pistol wounds on a 4, it does not. So just 1 no AP. Good.
I have my 6 stuff I needed before.
Yes. The Rangers will shoot. I think they just shoot warp talons and try to pick them up. Do they have grenades? No, they don't. Okay.
It's
They
interesting.
used to. So
Could have swore they were
yeah, they'll
bottled
just
with
shoot
grenades.
at the warp talons. So 3s to hits with a reroll.
I'm not able to do anything right now, so how do you do?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 2 AP 1s on the warp talons, 2 damage each. One
Okay.
dies. Okay.
The other one.
The Death Jester's gonna go into the other chosen squad. Does the Master of Possessions have an invuln?
Yes. 5 up.
4 up?
5
5
up.
up. Okay. So he'll give himself precision. Oh, sorry, I'm spending a CP to follow action charge. I forgot to do that, but he definitely wants to. So he's gonna give himself precision.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's shooting into the Master of Possession, basically.
Okay.
Any strats or?
No.
Okay, so first
don't have any
one
strats.
hits, and then wounds on a 3, so it wounds. Take it on the Master Possessions.
That's -1, so minus nothing.
-1. Yep.
Good cover.
I don't think you're getting cover on the Master Possessions. No.
I'm pretty sure that you can't see me here.
With the Death
This
Jester?
guy here,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's the complete model.
Oh yeah. From his gun?
They come.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay,
definitely can. Yeah. So 2 damage. Okay, so he dies. Okay. And then yeah, just the other 2 into normal guys now. So 2s, both hits, and then wound on 3s. And I'll just Eldar reroll. Or I'll just change it to a 6, it's fine. So just 2 dev wounds and 1 save it, AP1. Still have your feeling of pain right now though, so.
Yeah.
So there's 1 guy on 1 right now, so you have to take 2 on
Ah,
him
okay.
first. Yeah. So he dies.
And then the other one.
Takes 2. Okay. So let's do the
That was pretty brutal.
Wraith Knight.
MOP and a
All the big
Chosen
guns
knocked out by 1 Death Sister shot.
We're gonna shoot the Star Cannon.
And we have a flaking shot into that unit too. This is what I'm saying, chat. All these little guns, they can do so much damage.
Let's do. No, Fuego
I don't
wants
think
to
he had
charge
cover.
Them. So I need to shoot.
Because like you can draw the line of sight like this,
Fuegan's small gun into the
and his base was here, right? So the line of sight from this portion of the table is pretty clear that there's no intervening terrain.
2 hits, 2s.
It's just true line of sight stuff.
2 damage.
They are strength 8, yes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Good.
Be fine.
All right. So yeah. So the Wraith Knight will do big guns all into obliterators, and then the Star Cannons will go into Let's do one star cannon into this warp talon, and then the other star cannon into these chosen.
Okay. So
Yes, yeah. So the
with
big
8
guns
shots
first.
into the obliterators.
Yep.
And then yeah, and you are melted. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, sorry, I'm gonna start with do the Farseer first because the Farseer can only see one of them. Yeah. So Eldritch Storm. It's one
Nice.
shot. Misses, but a reroll misses, and then the spear hits and wounds. It's 0 AP, 3 damage. Good.
Right.
Okay. So now we do the Wraith Knight. Everything.
That'll
Like we
that'll
said.
real man
So,
split fire for
yeah,
sure.
Big guns into blitz on 3s
Mhm.
with a reroll. And strength 12, so 3s.
Yeah.
To reroll. So that many invulns.
And they are at least AP4.
AP4, yeah. Okay.
Too bad.
So D6 plus 2 each. So first is 6, so a dead guy.
Right.
The next is 1. That's fine. So that's 3. The next one will just kill the next one.
Yeah.
Next one is 4.
Alive. Move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna CP reroll that.
Okay.
Okay, so another
Okay.
dead one, and then the last one
Then you use.
is in the box. Yeah, another dead one. They're all dead.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Star Cannon.
Let's
I have
go
no rerolls
Wraith
left, so Star
Knight.
Cannon into
Hot
Warp Talon.
damn.
Both hits and both wounds. AP3, so just 5s. Dead. And then Star Cannon into Chosen. 2 hits and 2 more wounds. AP3, so 5 ups.
Cover. Yeah.
They're 2 damage each.
Okay.
So they'll just kill one
First
and drop one.
killed, and then
Or drop one away. Yeah. Okay.
one.
All right. I don't think the Night's Mary can see you. No, we'll just save it. It's fine. Let's do the Avatar. He's gonna shoot that Forge Fiend. We're gonna hit
The
with 6.
Avatar?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Blammo.
So we're gonna hit with 6.
Used
So
the
we
Fateless yet. Yeah.
So we hit with a 6, we get D3 extra. So 3 extra, so 4 total. Strength 14, so 3s. With a reroll. So 3, AP4. 2 go through. So first is 3 damage, and the next is 3 damage. So 6 damage total.
Spicy.
Alright, Autark.
Oh, that was long.
Autark into him. Hits and wounds on a strength 9, so. 6 will do
Oh
it.
man. Got the Autark with the fusion gun in there too.
AP4 goes through.
Uh-oh.
It's D6 plus 3. I don't know if you want to reroll or not.
Ugh.
No.
So
Does
it
2 shots
does
kill the Forge Fiend here? Yep.
8 damage.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Let's see what I
Okay.
explode.
That might just be this feels a little finishing here, chat, to be honest. This is a lot of Chosen dead. Fuegan's gonna charge and get a little bit more as well. And we killed a Forge Fiend and the Obliterators. So we have the second Forge Fiend to come in, but the question is whether that's gonna be able to come back and do enough damage to overcome 32 points of deficit right now.
I think the game's over.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Basically, happy to say you won fair and square, then you don't need to play for too long anymore if you're fine with that.
I mean,
Yeah, I
up
think
to
we might
you.
get a talk out here.
No, it's literally like that. If the obliterators are not obliterated, then there might be like a little bit of a chance. I mean, I'm owning this part of the board, but you're on this part of the board, and with me having like secondary wise, so far nothing.
Yeah,
I don't think that I will.
the secondary
even
draws
if
were
I would be able
horrible
to.
for Chaos Space Marines.
I'm not even
We
able
can
to
definitely
contact your primary yet.
we can definitely blame that a little bit. We had that whole discussion about secondaries at the beginning of the game, and that was a big part of it. Going first, I think, was huge for Jonathan too, because he didn't get pushed out too
I
far.
had to go first.
Really did like, yeah, no.
Well, there you go, chat. If anybody has any questions
Would
for the
have
players,
loved
go ahead
to
and
go
throw them
first.
in. We're going to get a little
Then
talk
I'm
out
already
there
in the middle of
as the
board,
players
and,
score their points.
Reserve
But
coming on
yeah, I think honestly,
I have a lot more figures.
incredible play from Jonathan.
But
Really tactical.
Yeah, I also misplayed a few things. So like, it counted here. It's hard to say. The grenade was really good there. I could have not piled in here because I should have measured first how many guys I can get on the objective, and it was
Yeah.
never even a problem that you hold it. And at that moment, it's not worth it for me to eat all of that. In addition, I mean, he would jump around and still shoot me. I don't know like, how much.
Yeah,
of a
like
difference
I
it
I think they still pick up the squad because when Fuegan charges, he kills like a lot of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So
So in the end, so the -1 to wound here was crucial. And me having like, I think I spent 1 CP too much in that turn of mine, so I started with 3. I spent the full reroll to wound, hit and wound on the obliterators, which flopped massively. But that is sometimes what happens. And then I don't know what else. Oh, the
I'm not sure.
reroll here on the Death Chester. For him surviving on 1 wound is
yeah,
really annoying.
yeah, you rerolling the
In a way,
yeah,
so yeah, it is the fate dice basically. Without the fate dice, on average he is dead. If I roll 1,
Oh yes, 100%.
pretty much for sure it's dead. But that's what the fate dice are for. Plus, I didn't realize that he's able to do this turn into a 6 every single turn. So that's basically another fate dice for you.
It's even
that
better than a
moment-
fate dice because I can use it after I roll the dice, right? So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
just better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
very,
heard
very
that fate
slow.
dice
It's
are pretty strong. Yeah.
And it
I
is
don't know what
once
you're
per
talking
turn.
about, Trevi.
So yeah, no. And then in the end, I was not necessarily like super scared of the knight.
No, you shouldn't.
In a way,
be. He's not
if
the best.
if you're not killing that unit to the max, basically.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, then it is a much nicer game for me. But again, if I'm up here and you are not yet in with your knight, and I'm getting my second turn before the knight comes in, I think I can do a lot more damage in a way. And you basically have to set out your screen already turn 1, not turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's huge in that matchup who goes first, basically. But I also have to say you played it really well. So
I've played
that
the
was one
Aeldari
other
into
thing-
mirror
one
matchup
other
a
thing that I
lot.
played. Yeah, I have played the normal Elder list into that this list here, and I trounced it 3 times. But they all had the incan, and the incan is actually not that good here because
No.
yeah, if you use them too early, then my deep strike, my obliterators just deep strike next to him and pick him up basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so then my game plan becomes like really easy because I just push 1 unit of the thing. So what was really good from your point of view was you rerolling your successfuls here when you slow down that unit. Because that is always the thing is like Night Spinners, usually you can eat one thing. I mean, with 10 shots hitting on 4s and then wounding on 3s with full rerolls and hitting on 4s with 1 reroll, I think you still need to be a bit lucky that you roll bad in a way. But it is perfectly fine, and you need to know that mechanic basically at that moment.
Yes.
And yeah, so I needed the obliterators to do a bit more. And this one here was just annoying. That was like really annoying to deal with, especially when I didn't have the CP to reroll all wounds.
Yes.
Because if the first unit picks this one up, then I can pile in with my master possession into this and with the rest of the guys into here. So both units were required. So with the full reroll to hit and wound, I think I have a decent chance to do it. But still, I think this chart here was more important in a way. I don't know. No, but even otherwise.
Probably
I was
because,
already-
then,
I was
because otherwise the
already in
avatar
it.
just goes here and precisions the demagogue. So like,
Yeah.
because he moves 10 here. I shoot, kill the
Yeah.
14,
Yeah, no,
and then he
the-
charges over here.
The demagogue at that moment stood here. So it wouldn't have even be like hard for you to get to him.
Yeah.
Because I rolled and I was only able to move 4 in a way. So yeah, it would have been nice to get that objective here. Other things that you think were misplayed in a way?
I think you could have just been a little bit more protective with the blue scribes at the start.
Yeah. That was when you said like the horn looked out here. I looked at it and said, yeah, no, that was never meant to be like that, but it was clearly like that. And this is just for
Yeah.
me, like I'm only starting to play TTS, and this point of view is still weird for me. And so I'm not used to like on the other hand, 9-inch scout move, most likely would have been able to see him, but maybe only with 2 instead of 3. So at that moment,
Yeah,
you're not killing him because you killed him to the wound. But if I fail one of the 2 damage things,
yeah.
I mean, in the end, you
If
could also have
you
gone
were
over there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if you were back further, I would have gone 9 there and 14 this way, but then
Yeah.
I wouldn't have liked that because then I would have been on this side and not move blocking the cultist. So
Yeah.
I just got
Yeah.
I got both of what I wanted essentially. So
Yeah, no, exactly. When I saw you draw Assassinate, initially I thought like, hey, that's actually not so nice for you, but with the blue scraps being there and not being here
Coconut
behind
Monkey,
it,
thank you for the follow.
and suddenly it was actually really nice. Because in the
Yeah.
end, if I would have put him here, maybe you would have still been able, because my
I
first
would've-
models
yeah,
were
with-
here.
with
So you would have
23
been able to
inches,
go
yes.
there, yeah. But then, as you said, it is not the movement block that you want to. I think what I should have maybe done is let you activate with your Death Chester in this unit first. And then when you want to shoot with the next unit, then use the Never Stop. Because then I have lost a few models, but you will still slow down this unit. And that was another mistake from my side. I could have killed one of my big guys. Because one of my big guys within 2 inches would have been able to go with the 4 inches. Although it didn't really matter. I mean, I still got something on there by my turn, but only 1 and not 2. That was the problem there. But yeah, no, definitely very interesting. And yeah, that's also the thing is like the troops I have not faced at all before, and this is always weird in a way. So like the Star Weaver T6 -1 to wound is suddenly actually becoming interesting. So you not being able to roll your advance there. I don't know, but that was basically what killed this one here.
Yes.
If you roll the 5 on the advance, you can get the -1 to wound on the avatar. You likely put it on the avatar at that moment. Or
I mean,
I don't know.
to be honest,
at least you would have moved in. You were basically measuring, can I get in range to the avatar? And so
it was more so is this even an option? Because it would have been nice to have the change of fate dice to a 6 for the avatar more than the -1 wound, because like the Cursed Cultists are wounded on 6s, like the Forged Fiends are wounded on 5s. I guess it would have been nice against the Blitz, but
I mean, so I did do 3 against him. I thought about like using because I didn't use any of my go turns with the Cursed Cultists.
Yeah.
But it didn't really feel like it was the right moment at that.
Yeah, it's
and
awkward
if you
because
look
like
at 11 out of 14, on average they don't kill him, even in the go turn. And then the things I rolled like super hot on these 5 dice. So I rolled 37 shots with 5 guys, which is like really good. I had like 3 6s and so on. So yeah, basically what I need to do is really kill this thing here. Maybe don't spend the reroll here, because you just use your fate dice anyhow. And if I don't reroll that one over here, and I charge in with that 1 unit, and then with the other unit with full hit and wound rerolls, maybe I pick up that unit, and then I can put more attacks into him. Could have been, would have been, whatever. But it was really, what I disliked was Fugen going away. I think I would have liked to shoot Fugen more in a way, especially because he was also further up. Because, and yeah, I was too greedy with the warp talent. I should have just put the warp talent into the transport, just making sure that how you get out is not on the objective, or like not with that many guys on the objective, so that I can fairly easily get to the objective, and maybe have another 2 guys that can first try to kill the transport. I mean, they're wounding on 6s, but if I leave it on 1 or 2 wounds after the 1 unit with full rerolls goes in. But yeah, the other thing what I didn't like is I needed to expose my Chosen before the Wraith Knight was really down. No, the Wraith Knight was already there. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, I needed to do something here. And your screens were just too far forward to really have a nice play. I think the obliterators, that was the spot where they needed to go, but yeah, they needed to do a little more.
I definitely just should have put a warp spider like back here just to
Yeah,
stop that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
is what it
but
is.
the warp spiders is annoying because they have the volume to really hurt the aggress cultist. And there, even if you're within, even if I turn on the nervous strat, it doesn't help against them at all.
No.
Because they hit automatically and they are within 12 if they are hit. And yeah, with me needing to go somewhere, I was basically not able to stay outside of 12. So if I have first turn, then I'm already here. And then you have to decide, okay, do I commit with these guys? And you have like less shot overall into them. So, and that's usually like the winning condition in quite often the games. It's like, yeah, you shoot the accursed, but with Nurgle Strat and their general durability, you're only killing half of the unit, 3/4 of the unit. By the end of the game, the unit is full, and I can pick up whatever exposed. Get that one out. But yeah, no, but that's good. So the first loss with that list, we can be. I think I was 14 and 0 and 1. Again, conquest. I think you really played it very well.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right.
That was a great game.
Cool.
I'll go ahead and get your scores in, so you should be all set. And thank
appreciate
you, too, for playing.
Cool.
Thanks.
Jonathan, congratulations on taking the event down. Have a good night, you guys.
Yeah.
You as well. See ya.
Cheers.
Yes.
All right, chat. Let's get some folks their points. Ooh, those Aeldari backers. They get that big payday today. Congratulations, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out with me for this game. It was an interesting one. I know Jonathan was pretty pessimistic at the beginning of the game, but I think going first and then being able to set up perfectly was really good. That was very, very strong tactical play. Fluffy Man Pig, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, man. I should be live on Sunday. I do want to start a Space Marine playthrough, so we're probably going to do some of that. I think is what's going to go on Sunday. I have a video in the works right now. It's going to be released on Sunday. It's going to be a wild one. I'm going to do a video on the snake list. So, yeah, that one's looking funny already. If you're a patron, I put a little sneak preview in the Patreon channel in the Discord, which I am pretty proud of. So, Inky gets the payday. Oh, Inky, you get a treato. She might be tired for a treat. Let's see. Here we go. Inky. There it is, chats. She's chowing down now. It took her a little bit because she's kind of tired, but there she goes. Big lick of the lips. I just cleaned off her whole tower too, so it's much nicer up there, I think. All right, everybody. Let's go rating real quick before we pop off. And I will see you all on Sunday. Who are we rating today? Who's got games going? Underground Hobby. Playing in French. Got a little bit of Dark Tide going on in the Warhammer tag. Let's go with Underground Hobby. We'll watch these Quebecois play some games. All right, everyone. Let's go watch their game. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I'll see you on Sunday. Remember to keep it classy, folks. Have happy wargaming.